हाँ हाँ
मैंने क्यों दिया तो प्रिंसिपल मैम तो किसके साथ संध्या मैम के साथ आई थी मैम
मॉर्निंग सर।
जी गुड मॉर्निंग मिश्रा जी, डॉक्टर मिश्रा गुड मॉर्निंग।
बस सर 5 मिनट से शुरू कर रहे हैं और रिकॉर्डिंग में डाल रहे हैं।
अच्छा मैं विजिबल हूँ और
जी हाँ जी
ऑडिबल हूँ।
जी 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 यस सर।
चलिए
Good morning, sir.
जी वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
Good morning to all of you.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम।
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
मैडम
जी गुड मॉर्निंग
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग।
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग मैम।
Good morning. Good morning.
मॉर्निंग टू ऑल
गुड मॉर्निंग ईच एंड एवरीवन।
मॉर्निंग सर म्यूट नहीं होगा
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
Good morning, sir.
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग सर। वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग सर
गुड मॉर्निंग।
टैप कर रही हूँ
Good morning, sir.
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग मैम। वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
Good morning, सभी को.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर गुड मॉर्निंग
Good morning, sir.
मैं कैसे बंद करूँ इसको मैं लेफ्ट
मॉर्निंग सर
Good morning, sir.
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
इमरान सोनम मैडम अच्छा रुको मैं थोड़ा सा बोलती हूँ हेलो हेलो नो हाँ हाँ थोड़ा बुलाना ना निकलेगी ना तो बोलना मैं बुला रही हूँ फिर ये ऑफिस में दे देना सरकारी। शो करते हैं।
Good morning to all.
Good morning. Good morning.
Is found
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
When we are starting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's already 10:10.
हाँ ओके सर, जस्ट 1 मिनट, रिकॉर्डिंग में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, जस्ट शुरू हो जाए, शुरू कर
अच्छा, ठीक है।
जैसे तैसे नहीं से करेंगे, तुम लोग बता।
Yeah, start. Tanmay is start.
तिवारी सर गुड मॉर्निंग।
जी, गुड मॉर्निंग, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग।
सर अब शुरू कर रहा है मैं तो।
जी जी।
A very good morning and warm welcome to our eminent speaker, Professor K.S. Tiwari sir, and all participants to second day of 5th National Science Teacher Workshop 2022 on Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge technology. I hope all participants enjoyed first day lectures and updated their knowledge. The dream begins most of the time with a teacher who believes in you, who tugs and pushes and leads you on to the next plateau, sometimes poking you with a sharp stick called truth. किसी ने बहुत सही कहा है कि एक शिक्षक और सड़क दोनों एक जैसे होते हैं, खुद जहां है वहीं पर रहते हैं, मगर दूसरों को उसकी मंजिल तक पहुंचा ही देते हैं। वास्तव में बहुत ही सही ये किसी के वर्ड हैं। शिक्षक वो किसान है जो दिमाग में ज्ञान के बीज बोता है। तो यहाँ पे मैं देख रहा हूं कि सभी शिक्षक ही उपस्थित हैं, जो वर्कशॉप में पार्टिसिपेट हैं वो शिक्षक हैं, और जो हमारे स्पीकर हैं वो भी शिक्षक हैं। इस नीचे नदी के दो किनारे हैं, ये किनारे साइड एक शिक्षक है, दूसरे किनारे में ले जाने वाला, पार कराने वाला दूसरा शिक्षक है। तो आज हम लोगों के बीच में एक ऐसे महान शिक्षक हैं, और जो हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स टीचर हैं उनमें से जरूर कोई ना कोई उनके भी शिष्य होंगे। प्रोफेसर के.एस. तिवारी का नाम हर व्यक्ति, हर बच्चा जानता है, और आपके यदि हम बायोडाटा को कुछ पढ़ें, वही वाली कहानी है जैसे कि सूरज को दीपक की रोशनी दिखाना। सर अपने आप में एक महान व्यक्ति हैं, खुद एक लाइब्रेरी हैं और एक गुरुओं के गुरु हैं। मैं कुछ हाईलाइट सर के बारे में बताना चाहूंगा, जो कि प्रोफेसर के.एस. तिवारी वर्तमान में निदेशक भारतीय धरोहर झंडेवाल नई दिल्ली में पदस्थ हैं। निदेशक भाग्योदय फाउंडेशन नई दिल्ली में भी आप सेवारत हैं, कार्यरत एडिशनल चार्ज है। राष्ट्रीय संरक्षक है मानवाधिकार सुरक्षा एवं संरक्षण ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के। चेयरमैन है काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया लोकपाल बुंदेलखंड विश्वविद्यालय छतरपुर मध्य प्रदेश और सदस्य प्रबंध बोर्ड महाराजा गंगा सिंह विश्वविद्यालय बीकानेर राजस्थान। सलाहकार वाशिंगटन विश्वविद्यालय यूएसए। पूर्व दायित्व सर के पास प्रोफेसर विभिन्न कॉलेजेज में और यूनिवर्सिटी में भी आपने रहे। निदेशक इग्नू से, निदेशक ग्रामोदय विश्वविद्यालय चित्रकूट, निदेशक अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी हिंदी विश्वविद्यालय, निदेशक क्षेत्रीय कार्यालय मध्य प्रदेश भोजमुक्त विश्वविद्यालय, निदेशक CFO बेंगलुरु। कार्य क्षेत्र सर का आचार्य, शिक्षाविद, लेखक, पत्रकार, शोधकर्ता, जल विज्ञानी, पर्यावरणविद, सामाजिक एक्टिविस्ट, सलाहकार, वैज्ञानिक। उपलब्धियां 1000 से अधिक राष्ट्रीय अंतरराष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन कार्यशालाएं, 42 वर्ष का शिक्षण शोध प्रशासन का अनुभव, 500 से अधिक आलेख, राष्ट्रीय पत्र पत्रिकाओं में 6 पुस्तकें इत्यादि। तो हम लोग जो बीच में ऐसे महान शिक्षक या देश की सबसे बड़ी प्रतिभा हम कहें तो ये बहुत ही कम होगा, तो उनका मैं स्वागत करता हूं, वंदन करता हूं। और मेरे बीच में अभी आप सबसे निवेदन है कृपया अपने माइक को म्यूट करें, अदरवाइज मैं
1 मिनट मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा। हमें सभी पार्टिसिपेंट से एक रिक्वेस्ट है, क्योंकि हम लोग पिछले 1-2 साल से ऑनलाइन ये सब वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म यूज कर रहे हैं, सो वी नो द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ म्यूटिंग दिस डिस्टर्बेंस। हमें सभी को पता है कि हमें माइक अपना म्यूट रखना है, और इतना सबको आता है क्योंकि कल भी ऐसे ही बहुत सारा डिस्टर्बेंस हुआ था, ठीक है। सो एवरीवन हैज टू टेक केयर ऑफ योर माइक्रोफोन एंड कैमरा। कैमरा तो चलो ठीक है, बट माइक का ध्यान रखना ही रखना है ना, अदरवाइज एक पर्सन की वजह से पूरी मीटिंग डिस्टर्ब होती है। मीन्स यहाँ पे 200-400 लोग होते हैं, सभी डिस्टर्ब होते हैं। ओके, थैंक यू सर, या प्लीज गो अहेड सर।
दूसरी चीज, रिकॉर्डिंग भी चल रही है, जब इसको दूसरे साथी आपके देखेंगे, आपके बच्चे भी देखेंगे, स्टूडेंट, तो देखेंगे हमारे सर ने ये क्या किया है ना। तो कृपया अपनी इसकी भी प्रेस्टीज का भी ख्याल रखें कि रिकॉर्डिंग जब जाए तो उन लोगों के बीच में इस तरह से जाए कि समझ में आए कि हमारे गुरुजी जिसको मैं आदर्श मान रहा हूँ, आदर्श ही है हमारे लिए लाइफ, है ना। आज मेरे बीच में भी मेरे गुरु हैं जिनका मैं वर्णन कर रहा हूँ, प्रोफेसर के.एस. तिवारी, जिन्होंने मुझे शिक्षा दी है, आज यहाँ तक पहुंचा हूँ। वही मैंने गुरु का कहा कि गुरु वो बीज है जो दूसरों के लिए उगाता है सारी चीजें फसल। तो मेरा आपसे निवेदन यही है, और आप सब इतने अच्छे संस्थान से हैं, इतने बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से हैं, मेरा आप सब गुरुओं को सादर नमन। और साथ साथ प्रोफेसर के.एस. तिवारी सर से मैं अनुरोध करता हूं कि कृपया हम सबको अपने ज्ञान से सिंचित करें। प्रोफेसर तिवारी, हमारे बीच में हमारी साथी डॉक्टर सारिका वर्मा भी उपस्थित हैं, मैं उनको भी स्वागत करता हूं। सारिका वर्मा मैडम, प्लीज।
Good morning to all of you. Thank you.
ओके,
Thank you very much, Dr. Mishra ji, for introducing me to all the distinguished participants. Am I audible and visible too?
Yes, 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 yes.
Sir, audible, not visible.
Thank you very much.
Audible but not visible. Audible but not visible.
Now,
Only audible.
now,
Audible, only audible.
Only audible, sir, not visible.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
what was the problem? I don't.
Yes, sir, visible.
muted
Should
है।
I continue? Should I continue?
Yes sir, please continue sir, All are requested to
Muted है,
mute your microphone.
आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही। एक मिनट।
अब
हाँ सर, आने लगी। यस सर, यस सर। हाँ, यस सर।
So thank you very much, Dr. Mishra ji, for introducing me to the distinguished participants. I'm lucky enough to be a part of this wonderful program, continuous for the last 5 years. I had the opportunity to be a member of this wonderful group in the first year of Jigyasa program, and now in the fifth also. This is fifth program in a row, and I have been continuously joining you right from the first to the last one, this one. So on the eve of this fifth National Science Teachers Workshop on Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge science and technology under CSIR-Jigyasa program. On this occasion, present the Director of AMPRI CSIR Bhopal, Dr. A.K. Srivastav ji, distinguished directors, guests, professors from different parts of the country, particularly Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh, officials from Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Navodaya Vidyalaya, prestigious private schools, government schools from the Bhopal region, and finally the wonderful man behind the whole show, Dr. Sadanand Mishra ji, who really paved the way to such a beautiful program and have been doing a great job to offer this kind of opportunity to the teachers from Kendriya Vidyalaya, Navodaya Vidyalaya, etc., etc. So respected teachers from the Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, and other parts of the country. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for joining this beautiful program. I'm sorry, and I take excuse for my impertinence that I'm not keeping well. I'm COVID positive now, right now, in the mid of infection. But my love for the education, my love for the teaching, my love for the teachers, this really fascinated me to be the part of this program. I really could not refuse when Dr. Mishra asked me to be part of this program. So I'm in the mid of infection, I said. So I start from this, and I have a rare kind of problem. COVID-19 was, I'm talking about science and technology, an intervention of science and technology in almost every area, every circle, every discipline. May it be medical science, maybe IT science, maybe biological science, maybe physical science, or any discipline of science. So I think this is appropriate time for me and for you too, to talk to different arena, different circles, and different dimensions of science, and what are the challenges gradually emerging in our country, across the world, globally, to address the challenges. So as I said, I'm corona positive now, SARS-CoV-2. And SARS-CoV-2, that is corona itself, has offered so many challenges and so many opportunities also. When challenges are there, opportunities are also there. So that is with me, that is for you also. I don't consider this as a pain or a problem or a misery or a agony. I consider this as a challenge, this as an opportunity. This infection to me, to whosoever infected during the last 2 years, they got the opportunity, the whole medical world, medical science, the epidemiology, the virology, the genome science, the molecular biology, the biotechnology, the medical instrumentation, and so many different areas of science, and medical instrumentation. It has offered us an opportunity to come up with the new dimensions, new solutions. So I particularly, this is the disease with which I am suffering is a viral induced pancreatitis, which is one of the rarest problem. So whatever happening in future in our country, across the world, we will see that after the COVID will be over. The COVID will be over within next few months, 1 or 2 months. But the virus will not go away. This will remain with us. But in not in a disastrous form. This will not harm us. The fatality and the mortality rate will be quite low, very low, but virus with us. Now we need to cope up with the virus. Virus will be with us. We will have to live, we will learn to live with the virus. Now, the challenges before the science and technology are enormous. Enormous in terms of developing new pharma products. What are the kind of pharma products in terms of new antiviral drugs? Targeting the new variant of this virus, maybe new fungal infections, as we witnessed during the second wave of infection. You must have heard about black fungus. Similarly, the vaccine development program was a miracle. So far as our country is concerned, our scientist has done a great job. Normally, what happens when a virus appears and our scientist vaccine development program, it takes about 5 to 10 years to develop a vaccine. But our scientists and the global scientists across the world, including US, Russia, Europe, and few more countries, they developed a vaccine within 6 months to 1 year. So that was a miracle. Now this was a challenge, and our scientists accepted the challenge and developed the vaccine within next 6 to 8 months. The Covishield and the Covaxin. So that is again a miracle. I think that is the time when we should work very hard. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Audible, sir. Very well audible.
I think
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, audible.
Yes, sir.
the variants are continuously changing. As we said, starting with the Delta, starting with the Alpha, now we have gone up to the Omicron. And besides Omicron, there are 4 new variants which are not spreading very fast and not very disastrous, not very fatal. But we will have to learn to live with the virus. So after next, every 5 years, every 10 years, we will have to come up with the new variant and a new vaccine development program. So this is what the science and technology has done a great job. Another important thing, after the COVID will be over by the end of, I think, March end or April at the most, the whole world, including our own country, will have so many related problems. Problems like the, long COVID problems and the post-COVID problems. Nobody on the earth can predict what kind of problems would be there, but problems would be there. As I said, I myself is suffering from viral induced pancreatitis, which is one of the rarest problems.
Hello.
So this kind of problem will be emerging. I don't know what kind of problems will be there, but the problems will be there. Anyway, so we are in a way, we are working very hard. Somebody is talking. Any problem? Hello.
मैडम अगर सभी को बोल दो
Hello.
बस पूजा स्टार्ट होने वाली है
Hello.
अरे सर नहीं सर ना मैसेज डाला कि एकदम
participant,
में हूं ना मैं एक
please
एक
mute
काम
your
में
mic.
चल रहा है एक तेरे से बात कर रहा हूं
Somebody is talking.
तो बोल दो सब आगे
Om Narayan Sharma.
प्रिंसिपल मैडम भी है
Om Narayan Sharma.
सर बोल दिए सभी को
I don't know what the problem, because I feel disturbed. So challenges in terms of the pandemic management.
sorry
So one of the major, issues which is gradually coming up is to develop a program on pandemic management with special inputs of science and technology. The cryogenic techniques are to be developed to store the oxygen, to transport the oxygen. New medical instrumentation techniques are to be developed, because when the first wave was there in the country and in the world, there were only limited number of ventilators. Now ventilators are very common. So medical instrumentation is an area where we have done a remarkable progress. So this is one such area, because within a short span of 40-45 minutes, I cannot discuss all the challenges coming before the science and technology, but I think I will share some of the basic issues and the basic challenges. So this is one of the basic challenges with the whole humanity, not only in the country, but the whole population of 8.5 billion population of the world globe is facing, including our own population of 1.4 billion. So this is a greatest challenge for the science and technology to evolve solutions to solve this problem. So pandemic management academic program with the inputs of medical instrumentation, cryogenic techniques, and so many techniques involving the virology, the genome science. Because once the new variant comes up, we need genome sequencing. The testing of genome sequencing is very limited. So our scientists and the government of India is working very hard, and CSIR labs are doing an extremely great job. So this is really remarkable. So this is one point. Now coming to the next point. The next point before the world, before the country is decarbonization. Decarbonization of the globe. How we can decarbonize or gradually reduce the level of carbon dioxide from the earth. This was one of the greatest challenges before the science and technology. So the target is net zero emission by the year 2070. The emission level of greenhouse gases is very high. As you know, the level of CO2 in our atmosphere has reached up to the level of 418 ppm. Similarly, there are other
मीठे
64.
चावल बनाए तो नहीं है, हल्दी वाले ना?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please
Hello.
continue, sir.
Hello.
हाँ सर, आपकी वो आवाज आ रही सर, प्लीज कंटिन्यू।
नहीं, आवाज तो आ रही है, लेकिन मैं पता नहीं बीच में कई लोग डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं।
हाँ सर, we have requested to the people to mute their microphone, but no sir.
Anyway, should I continue?
I am
Yes sir, please.
meeting. मैं कोई कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि इनको अनम्यूट कर रहा हूँ।
Anyway, the next challenge before the world, before the science and technology, is to decarbonize the world. As you are aware of the fact that in the month of November, there was an international summit, Glasgow COP26. So there was a resolution by the world leaders, including our own country, our own Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji and the Environment Minister Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, to limit the level of CO2, which is not suddenly possible. But this is now a greatest role for us, for the science and technology, how to reduce the level of CO2. So as to limit the level of CO2 so that the temperature could not rise beyond the level of 1.5 degree within next 50 years, 49 years. So that is again a challenge, because there are certain very important issues to be solved. And there are some very important areas which are primarily responsible for emitting the temperature enhancing gases, like the automobile sector of the world, like the power generation sector of the world, like the industries, our agro practices, and so on and so forth. So there are number of such factors which are primarily responsible for enhancing the level of CO2 or greenhouse gases on the earth. Now the challenge is how to gradually reduce the level of CO2. So there was a resolution that you immediately phase out. Remember the word phase out. But our government was not agree with the word phase out, because phasing out means a problem. You cannot shut down all the thermal power plants within one stroke, because we are dependent on all the thermal for the energy. Roughly 70% of the country's energy requirement is directly from the thermal power plants. So we coined a new word, phasing down. In place of phase out, we have suggested a word, phase down. We will phase down. We will gradually reduce the level of CO2 by curbing the emission and by shutting down thermal power plants and by making some remarkable changes in the four-stroke engines. Four-stroke engines which are flying on the road in our country and across the world. There are billions and billions of vehicles flying on the road. So which is not possible. Now we need a huge modification in our combustion system of vehicles. We need electrical vehicle. We need some other sources of energy. So this is one major area, but the ultimate target is to reduce the level and decarbonize the world. Decarbonize the world. Decarbonizing the world is not an easy task, because this will take a lot of years, lot of time, and lot of resources also, lot of technical support, and lot of funding also from the developed nation. The ultimate target is we need to reduce our carbon footprints, our energy footprints, our water footprints. So this is another area where science and technology is continuously facing a great challenge. Number two. Number three is clean air. Clean air technology. Because air in our country is highly polluted. I think all of you are aware of the fact that air quality index in most part of the country is very, very, very bad. Very bad. 14 cities, 14 cities of the world are from our own country out of 20. Just imagine the air quality index and the RSPM, respiratory suspended particulate matter, should be below 60 μg per micrometer, whereas it has or it had reached up to the level of 600. Just imagine 60 and 600, just 10 times more. So this is really a dangerous situation for Indians and for the city, for the people, those who are living in the polluted cities like Noida, Gurgaon, Gwalior, Allahabad, Kanpur, Ahmedabad, and so on and so forth. So I think this is again a problem, and we, science and technology, now need to come up with the idea to reduce the level of pollution, to reduce the level of toxic gases in the air, which is causing havoc, which is causing millions and millions of people are dying because of polluted air. So we need to reduce suspended particulate matter, the RSPM, and bring the air quality index into the safer level. Now, one more remarkable thing for science and technology is what happened. You must have heard about the application or the recommendation of zinc as a medicine during Corona period. Application or the recommendation of zinc as a substitute, Ginkgo-Vit. Why? Why Ginkgo-Vit during the Corona? What happens when CO2 level enhances during the pollution, high pollution times? It automatically reduces the zinc level in our food cycle. So when the zinc level reduces the food cycle, it becomes prone to the corona infections. Yes, I repeat, when there is a high level of CO2 in the atmosphere, it gradually reduces the zinc supplement or zinc in the food cycle of the nature. So once the food cycle is deficient in zinc, the person or the whole population becomes prone to the corona infection. That is why physicians were suggesting zinc or zinc plus vitamin as a supplement. So I think the corona attacks the lungs. Pollution also attacks the lungs. So when lungs are already with the polluted air, and virus is also there in the lungs, so that causes havoc, that causes problem. So wherever there were high level of pollution in the country, there were maximum number of corona cases. So this is one such problem. So we need to understand the seriousness of this issue. Now again, water issue. This is again a matter of concern for the country. Almost 50% population, 50% areas of the country are facing in the area of dark zones. Dark zones mean there is no water or very less water or very polluted water. Now there are thousands and thousands of schemes run by state governments and government of India to manage, to conserve, to make it pollution free. But the situation of water is becoming bad to worse. Now we need to evolve solutions how we can manage the water in urban India, in semi-urban India, or in also rural India and some part of the country. So this is again a challenge. What are the basic strategies, either by watershed practices using the engineering tools, or by water harvesting practices, or by conserving water, or by collecting water, or by stopping the runoff? Runoff means the rainwater which goes off, which gradually it condenses, comes on the earth, and then gradually goes to the sea, finally ocean, where it comes from after the evaporation. So this is a challenge. What are the practical practices that we can adopt to conserve the water? So this is again a problem. I think this will take a lot of time. I'm briefly, water management is a problem. Now, fifth point, I have already covered 4. I will talk about 11 points. Digitalization. Digitalization now is a prime area where I think the teaching fraternity in our country and across the world, Europe and US and other developing countries, they have already gone away, far away. But so far as our own country is concerned, digitalization in remote pockets of the country, the SC/ST pockets, the villages, the unprivileged areas of the country, we need to promote digitalization, because this is the future of the world. Digitalization is the future of the world. May it be education, may it be virtual learning, may it be the hearing in the courts, or may it be work from home. And finally, of course, the using IT tools, application of eco-friendly application of IT tools, may it be artificial intelligence, may it be cloud computing, or any suitable technology, suitable to that particular pocket, suitable to the population of the country. Because we have already experienced real learning was a pleasure. We are all teachers. I'm also a teacher and proud to be teacher. We had the bliss of being together with our learners. But we are going ahead. We are going fast towards virtual learning. And there would be kind of model when we will have a kind of online learning in conjugation with the virtual learning. So hybrid kind of learning would be there, using all possible IT tools. It may be frequency modulation radio, maybe satellite support education, maybe the application of internet, maybe portals, maybe so many other tools of the country. So this is again a very challenging area for our science and technology to support the whole system of education, the health sciences, the service sector, the corporate sector, our industries, in every possible area, every walk of life. We need digitalization and eco-friendly application of science and technology. So this is again one very important area where we need intervention. Now coming to the 6th area, energy. Energy is a challenge because the chariot of development fly on the wheels of energy. विकास का रथ ऊर्जा के पहिए पर चलता है. जो देश जितना विकसित हैं उनके पास उतनी ऊर्जा है. The measurement of wealth, measurement of prosperity is done on the basis of availability of energy. भारत की बात करें, भारत में ऊर्जा के सीमित संसाधन हैं. हमारी ऊर्जा की जरूरतें आज भी थर्मल पावर प्लांट से पूरी हो रही हैं, जो एक खतरनाक संकेत है. 70% ऊर्जा आज भी हम थर्मल पावर प्लांट से पूरी कर रहे हैं. बाकी जो ऊर्जा के स्रोत हैं उसमें हाइडल है जो इको फ्रेंडली है, बायोमास हो सकता है, सोलर एक पावरफुल टूल है, बायोमास है, जियोथर्मल है, ये कुछ न्यूक्लियर तो है ही, लेकिन इनका परसेंटेज बहुत कम है. हम आज एक ऐसे दोराहे पर खड़े, जब हम भारत का एक दुनिया के सामने एक चैलेंज है कि हम अगले 50 सालों में हमें एक इको फ्रेंडली ऊर्जा सिस्टम में कन्वर्ट के बताना है. और सबसे बड़ा अल्टरनेटिव है सोलर सिस्टम. आज दुनिया में सोलर एनर्जी के लिए क्राइसिस हो रही है. हमें सोलर इंस्टॉलेशन, सोलर प्लांट इंस्टॉलेशन लगा के हमें वो सारी चीजों को बड़े बड़े लेवल पर ट्रांसफॉर्म करना है. तो साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी को, और मुझे लगता है कि जितने भी एनर्जी सर्कल्स में काम करने वाले हमारे IITs हैं, हमारे ITIs हैं, हमारे नीचे के इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस हैं, टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट हैं, सबको इस पर रिसर्च करनी पड़ेगी। एक तो ऊर्जा के सोर्सेस के नॉन कन्वेंशनल सोर्सेस डेवलपमेंट के लिए, दूसरे सबसे बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज एनर्जी कंजर्वेशन पर। एनर्जी कंजर्वेशन इज द प्राइमरी थिंग। आप देखिए आपके घर में AC लगा है, 2 टन का AC कितनी ऊर्जा खाता है? इस दुनिया में कितने AC लगे होंगे? अरबों AC। अगर इनमें थोड़े माइनर मॉडिफिकेशन, एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं आपको केवल एयर कंडीशनर का, अगर इसमें इतना मॉडिफिकेशन कर दिए जाए, 1.5 टन का AC, 2 टन का AC अगर आधे टन के AC के बराबर की बिजली को बचा सके थोड़े से मॉडिफिकेशन से, आप समझ सकते हैं कितनी बड़ी ऊर्जा कंजर्व होगी, कितनी बड़ी ऊर्जा बचा सकते। इसी तरह से ऊर्जा के सैकड़ों टूल्स हमारे पास हैं, तो हमें एनर्जी कंजर्वेशन पे इन सारी चीजों पर काम करना है। दूसरा, ऑटोमोबाइल सेक्टर में आज वी आर मार्चिंग टुवर्ड्स 4 स्ट्रोक इंजन, वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन हम पेट्रोल क्वालिटी पे भी काम कर रहे हैं और जो 4 स्ट्रोक इंजन की बनावट पर भी काम कर रहे हैं। आप देख रहे होंगे आजकल एथेनॉल जो ब्लेंडेड पेट्रोल पे काम हो रहा है, 80% पेट्रोल, 20% अल्कोहल। हमारे देश में अल्कोहल पैदा होने के बहुत सारे, गन्ना है, अनाज है, फल है, तमाम सारे और साधन है। साइंटिस्ट को, केमिकल साइंटिस्ट को फर्मेंटेशन के जरिए वो सारे सोर्सेस को एक्सप्लोर करके अल्कोहल की कंटेंट मात्रा बढ़ानी पड़ेगी और पेट्रोल में मिला के पूरे देश में। इससे 2 फायदे होंगे, एक तो किसानों को राहत मिलेगी, उनको मैक्सिमम सपोर्ट प्राइसेस ज्यादा मिलेंगी, गन्ने का उत्पादन बढ़ेगा, दूसरा पोल्यूशन जो पेट्रोल के जरिए वो कम होगा, दूसरा पेट्रोल की खपत होगी, पेट्रोल कम से कम 35 रुपए सस्ता भी होगा। सारे फायदे। मुझे लगता है कि साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी को सारे एंगल्स को चारों तरफ नजर फैला के देखना होगा, और ये सारे मुद्दे हैं जहां पर ब्लेंडेड पेट्रोल है। ऑटोमोबाइल इंजन्स में रिफॉर्म्स हैं, जो स्टार रेटिंग के इंजन्स होते थे जिसको BS बोलते हैं, BS2 से हम BS6 तक आ चुके हैं, जहां पोल्यूशन लेवल ऑलमोस्ट 0 हो चुका है। तो इस पर भी हमें काम करना है और साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी इस पर काफी अच्छा काम कर रही है, और अगले 2 सालों में एक बहुत बड़े रेवोल्यूशन की ओर हम बढ़ रहे हैं। अगला है टेलीकॉम सेक्टर। आपने सुना होगा 5G की तरफ हम बढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन 5G के खतरे से अभी हम वाकिफ नहीं हैं। अमेरिका में, यूरोप के कुछ देशों जहां 5G, वहां पर इसके रेडिएशंस के खतरे सामने आए हैं। अभी देखा होगा आपने, एयर इंडिया की फ्लाइट्स को एयर इंडिया अपनी फ्लाइट्स को अमेरिकन एयरपोर्ट्स पर बंद कर दिया था। उसकी वजह थी कि उनके बहुत सारे डिस्टर्बेंसेस हो रहे थे फ्लाइट को लैंड करने में, फ्लाइट को वहां पे ले जाने में, वगैरह वगैरह। तो कहीं ना कहीं इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन 5G से जब पैदा होंगे, ठीक है ये बहुत फास्ट, क्विक, कन्वीनियंट सर्विस होगी, कि इसके हेल्थ हजार्ड्स हैं या दूसरे प्रॉब्लम्स को लेके भी बात हमें समझनी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि एक बहुत बड़ा खतरा भी है। जहां सुविधा है वहां खतरा है, उन सारे खतरों को साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी को एड्रेस करना पड़ेगा। तो एक अगला पॉइंट है फूड सेफ्टी। साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के सामने एक बहुत बड़ा इश्यू आ रहा है खाद्य सुरक्षा का। वी आर फास्ट मूविंग टूवर्ड्स फूड सिक्योरिटी। देयर आर enormous problems, there would be enormous problems of food security in the future. जब जब अर्थ का टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा, जो ऑलरेडी बढ़ चुका है और बढ़ने की तरफ जा रहा है, तब तक हमारे देश में, दुनिया में फसलों का उत्पादन घटेगा। गेहूं, चावल, मीट प्रोडक्ट्स, फिशरीज, मिल्क, पोल्ट्री वगैरह वगैरह, दालें, तिलहन, जितने भी उत्पाद हैं खाने के, उन सब का उत्पादन घटेगा। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज। आबादी बढ़ रही है, उत्पादन घट रहा है, और उससे भी बड़ी चिंता यह है कि जितने फूड प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, इनकी न्यूट्रिशियस वैल्यू भी घट रही है। जैसे दाल आप क्यों खाते हैं? दाल खाते हैं प्रोटीन की वजह से। अगर दाल जो पैदा हो रही है खेत में, अगर उसमें प्रोटीन की मात्रा कम होगी, प्रोटीन क्या है? अमीनो एसिड्स होते हैं। अगर इनकी मात्रा घट गई बढ़ते टेम्परेचर, तो भले ही आप दाल 50 ग्राम खाएं, लेकिन उस 50 ग्राम में मिलने वाली प्रोटीन उतनी नहीं होगी जो आपको 10 वर्ष पहले मिलती थी। 10 वर्ष बाद मिलने वाली प्रोटीन की मात्रा उतनी ही दाल में बहुत कम होगी। तो हमें एग्रीकल्चर साइंटिस्ट को, जेनोम साइंटिस्ट को, या इस फील्ड में बायोटेक्नोलॉजिस्ट को ये सारे काम करके दिखाने हैं कि हमें गेहूं, चावल, दालें, तिलहन, आपके डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स, फल वगैरह वगैरह, जितने खाद्य उत्पाद हैं, इनमें इनकी मात्रा तो बढ़ानी है, इनकी न्यूट्रिशन वैल्यू ना घटने पाए, इनकी कैलोरी वैल्यू ना घटने पाए। भारतवर्ष जैसे विकासशील डेवलपिंग कंट्री में हमारे देश के बहुत सारे बच्चे आज भी न्यूट्रिशियस फूड नहीं मिल पाता, और ऐसी हालत में जितनी कैलोरी रिक्वायर्ड है उतनी कैलोरी बच्चों को नहीं मिलती। और यदि ऐसा हुआ तो भविष्य में मुझे लगता है कि ये कैलोरी रिक्वायरमेंट और भी घटेगी, तो उनका इसका सीधा इम्पैक्ट हमारे बच्चों के हेल्थ पर पड़ेगा। हमारे देश की 80% महिलाएं माल न्यूट्रिशन से ग्रस्त हैं, वो एनीमिक हैं, उनमें कोई ना कोई आपके हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम है, और इसका मूल कारण है कि हम आज शायद फूड वैल्यू को या फूड सेफ्टी को हम उस तरह नहीं देख पाए। तो ये एग्रीकल्चर साइंटिस्ट के लिए, बायोटेक्नोलॉजिस्ट के लिए, उनके लिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। साइंस एंड इमर्जिंग चैलेंजेस की बात कर रहे हैं, और साइंस के सारे डिसिप्लिन को लेके, यहाँ फूड साइंस के हैं, न्यूट्रिशन साइंस, फूड साइंस, एग्रीकल्चर साइंस, माइक्रोबायोलॉजी, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, सभी को मिलजुल के इन सारे एरियाज पे काम करना पड़ेगा। और ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, जिस पर हमें बहुत तेजी से आगे आना है। इसके अलावा एक और एरिया है जो भारत के लिए बड़ी चिंता का विषय है, दैट इज ये 9वां-10वां एरिया है, ये है वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट। आप देख रहे हैं कि हमारे देश में हिमालय की एवरेस्ट चोटी के शिखर से लेके ओशन की सबसे गहरी सतहों तक कचरा भरा पड़ा है। कोई ऐसी जगह नहीं जहां पर कचरों की डंप ना हो। समुद्र माइक्रोप्लास्टिक पटे पड़े हैं। मेरीन लाइफ, समुद्री जीवन पूरी तरह तबाह हो चुका है। एक्वेटिक लाइफ खत्म हो रही है। समुद्र में ब्लू ग्रीन एल्गी जो होती थी, जो ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर को ट्रैप करती थी, वो टेंडेंसी ग्रेजुअली घट रही है। हमारे जो फॉरेस्ट होते थे उनकी मात्रा घटी है। आप जानते हैं डिफॉरेस्टेशन हुआ है। फॉरेस्ट कटिंग से जो हमारे टेम्परेचर को ट्रैप करते थे या टेम्परेचर को एब्जॉर्ब करते थे, वो धीरे धीरे खत्म हो रहे हैं। तो सबसे बड़ी चीज है वेस्ट, एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। वेस्ट किसी भी तरह का हो सकता है। ये आपका ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट हो सकता है, ये आपका इनऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट हो सकता है, ये प्लास्टिक वेस्ट हो सकता है, सभी तरह का, ये आपका हॉस्पिटल वेस्ट हो सकता है, सब तरह की, ई वेस्ट हो सकता है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट भी हो सकता है। सभी तरह के वेस्ट की अलग अलग तरह की प्रॉब्लम है। ये अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम, इस पर काफी लंबा डिस्कशन चाहिए, लेकिन मैं आपसे इस मौके पर संक्षेप में इतना ही कहूंगा कि पॉलीमर वेस्ट को ग्रेजुअली रिड्यूस करने के लिए पॉलिसीज हैं, लेकिन हम उस पर एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करते। आप चाहें टीचर्स को अपने स्कूल कैंपस में कम से कम पॉलीमर वेस्ट को, आपके ऑलरेडी है मुझे मालूम है, इसको इफेक्टिवली इंप्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश करें। जो बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट है उस पर कंपोस्ट बना सकते हैं। दूसरे म्युनिसिपल वेस्ट है, उसको मैनेज करने के लिए म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन को एक पत्र लिख सकते हैं। ई वेस्ट का कलेक्शन कर सकते हैं। ई वेस्ट को प्रॉपर जगह पे रिसाइकलिंग के लिए वो कर सकते हैं। आप जानते हैं कि आर वाला बड़ा अच्छा कारगर फार्मूला है, रिसाइकिल, रिड्यूस, रीयूज, रिफर्बिश। ये सारी चीजें हम अगर लागू करते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि हम एक इफेक्टिव रास्ते की तरफ बढ़ सकते हैं। तो 10 पॉइंट की मैंने बात की। आखिरी पॉइंट है which is also very important. With this point, I will finish my talk. That is green development. Green development. Green development is the need of this hour. Green, you know that green in Hindi, you know that is hara. But green has a different meaning also. Green की spelling आप जानते हैं, GREEN. Now, I am coming to the spelling of this green. Growth with resource enhancement of environment and nature. We need to think on the lines of this green. I repeat, growth with resource enhancement of environment and nature. हमें सारे डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस को, हमारी लाइफस्टाइल, हमारी फूड हैबिट्स, हमारा कंस्ट्रक्शन, हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, हमारी करेंसी, हमारे सारे एफर्ट्स, हमारा इरिगेशन प्रैक्टिसेस, हमारे वाटर एफिशिएंट प्रैक्टिसेस, हमारे कार्बन फुटप्रिंट घटाने की बात है, हमारा जो जितने भी हम यूज करते हैं ऐसे चीजें जिनसे कि कार्बन फुटप्रिंट बढ़ता है, उनको घटाना है। पानी का यूज घटाना है। हमारे घर में हो, इंडस्ट्रीज में हो या कॉर्पोरेट में हो, कहीं पर भी एनर्जी फुटप्रिंट घटाना है। हमारे वो सारे मॉडल अपनाने जहां पर पानी का मिनिमम यूज हो, पानी मैक्सिमम रिसाइकिल होकर रीयूज कर सकें, जहां चारों तरफ ग्रीनरी हो, जहां वो सारे मटेरियल इस्तेमाल हो जहां पर उसका आपका टेम्परेचर ना बढ़े। हमें ये सारी चीजें करने, ये सारा इसका एक कॉमन वर्ड है ग्रीन डेवलपमेंट। और ग्रीन डेवलपमेंट के लिए आजकल सारी दुनिया काम कर रही है, और सारी दुनिया के यूएन सहित जितने बड़े देश हैं, इंक्लूडिंग अवर ओन कंट्री, वी आर मार्चिंग फास्ट टुवर्ड्स ग्रीन डेवलपमेंट। दिल्ली में, मुंबई, चेन्नई, कलकत्ता, अहमदाबाद में बहुत सारी ग्रीन बिल्डिंग के कंसेप्ट पे नई बिल्डिंग बन रही है, जहां टेम्परेचर को ट्रैप किया जाता है। ठंड के दिनों में टेम्परेचर ट्रैप रहता है और घर गर्म होते हैं। इस तरह से ये सारी चीजें हैं जिन पर मैं आपसे बात करना चाहता था। और मुझे लगता है कि साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के इमर्जिंग चैलेंजेस बहुत सारे हैं, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि विद इन सच ए शॉर्ट टाइम ऑफ रफली 45 मिनट्स, ये इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर मी और एनीबडी to address and to discuss all these important points, but मैं अपने कोशिश की मैंने कि आपके साथ वो सारे पॉइंट्स पे मैं बात करूं। ये कुछ important points थे। I repeat once again: pandemic management and epidemiology, virology, genome science, molecular biology, vaccine development program, medical instrumentation, cryotechnics, clean air technology, water management technology, decarbonization, digitalization, energy, automobile sector, telecom, electromagnetic radiations, 5G techniques, food security issues, waste management, and finally green development. So this is all about what I just wanted to convey, and I really thank you, CSIR-AMPRI lab, Dr. Mishra in particular, all the deputy commissioners of the Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, all the authorities of Navodaya Vidyalaya, all the esteemed principals and authorities of the prestigious schools of this region, Bhopal region, and our esteemed guests, those who are joining this very important webinar. And finally, I convey my regards to each and everyone. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Hello.
Sir, dear participants, if you have any questions, please ask Professor Tiwari. आपके बीच में इतने महान शिक्षाविद, आपने देखा होगा लेक्चर से, ये कोई भी फील्ड अछूता नहीं है। और एक ऐसा महान व्यक्तित्व जो कोविड से खुद पीड़ित होकर के भी हम सबको समय दिए, अपने जो उन्होंने वादा किया था उसके हिसाब से। मैंने सर से मना भी किया, सर आपको तकलीफ है, आप लाने दीजिए, लेकिन उन्होंने कहा नहीं 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 नहीं, मैंने कमिटमेंट किया है, मुझे देना है। तो ऐसे महान हस्ती को मैं सादर नमन करता हूँ, प्रणाम करता हूँ। और ये भी मैंने बताया कि सर हमारे गुरु भी हैं, मुझे ग्रेजुएशन में पढ़ाया है, तो मैं बहुत बड़ा आभारी हूँ सर का कि उन्होंने इस बीच में समय दिया। तो यदि आपके मन में कोई क्यूरीज हो, कोई जिज्ञासा हो। हाँ
Sir, I want to ask one point, sir.
जी जी,
Sure.
Sir, myself, Jagdish Parda, JNV Dhar. I am a PGT chemistry, sir. Sir, actually, sir has enlightened us in all the fields of science. Very, very effective class, sir. So my one point or one maybe opinion that we use pesticides and weedicides to stop the weeds in the crop production for the crops. Nowadays, it is effective we use to stop the growth of the grass. And this is our food management, and sir has enlightened us very nicely for actually the protein decrease level in dals and all. So sir, because nowadays since last 10-15 years, I belong to rural area. Now laborers and the people we work in the farms, farming, they are migrating from rural areas to urban areas due to search in job and all, sir.
Yes.
If our government and all, we all if can stop this migration, the people from rural area to urban area, and if we remove the weeds and grass, unwanted plants from the crops, we're not using the pesticide and weedicides. If yes, last 20-25 years, before 20-25 years, the laborers were used to remove the grass. If we use that practice in modern time also, that we can minimize the use of pesticide and weedicide, and up to certain level we can use, we can stop these fertilizers and all, sir. Actually, this is my opinion, sir.
It's a good opinion. This will help up to some extent, because there are some alternative substitute also. Synthetic weedicide or pesticide or fungicide. There are now some herbal substitute also. They will not harm our crops. They will remove the weeds. I mean, they will stop migration up to some level. Because this alone cannot stop migration. We need some more alternatives in rural areas to stop the migration.
Yes,
so
sir. Yes.
We need some alternative vocational program.
Yes, sir.
The skill development program, skill-based program, some entrepreneurship program, some other jobs there in the villages itself. So I think cumulatively we will have to have something additional.
Yes, sir.
That will stop migration from the villages to the cities, and finally, I think we will have to go for something herbal substitute rather than the synthetic substitutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good suggestion. Good suggestion.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
I want to say something. Myself, Dr. Sarika Verma, Principal Scientist at AMPRI Bhopal. Very warm welcome, and really it was a very, very inspirational and motivational talk. I couldn't resist myself to say a personal thanks to you, and of course not only listening from you, such a renowned personality in the vast areas that you have covered, but I personally have been touched, sir. You have been suffered. You means I can understand at this particular moment, in spite of, because I've heard so many people, they have been talking about, "Arey, we have been suffered, abhi kaise kya hoga?" But you have been a live example to all of us, to giving us the strength that how in the adverse condition also we have to manage the thing. We have to be strengthen ourselves in the sense of a physical, mental strength as well. So thank you so much for giving us such a nice lecture in such a unusual circumstances. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Madam,
Yes, so it was really an inspirational and motivational thing listening from you in such a situation.
Pain is an opportunity. Pain is a pleasure.
That is what we are learning from you, sir. And I'm very sure all other participants would have also been got a positive spirit listening from you in this condition. That was the main point, actually.
Pain is always not a pain. You should pain in the state of pleasure. I take this pain of being ill, in a way of pleasure. So I enjoy it as pleasure, and this pain is giving me an opportunity to rethink and think and rethink on certain new lines. And that is why I'm asking the medical fraternity, if at all somebody is joining this program, or you convey to some medical experts, if you are related to someone, you ask them to find some possible ways to come up with the idea to address this issue also, because we will have the long COVID and the post-COVID problems in the country in the coming 1 or 2 years. So the country will have to face these problems. So I always enjoy every moment of a life. Does not matter whether you are in pain or agony or in a miserable condition. One must enjoy every moment of life.
Thank you so much.
Any question from participant side? I think no questions.
Good morning, sir. I am Dhanraj from Kendriya Vidyalaya, Chhindwara, Madhya Pradesh, sir.
Thank you, Dhanraj ji. Thank you.
सर मैं बहुत उत्सुक था आपको सुनने के लिए। लास्ट जिज्ञासा में भी आपको मैं बहुत अच्छे से सुना, और मैं वास्तव में कहना चाहूंगा कि ऐसी पेनफुल सिचुएशन में, और आप कोविड से सफर कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद भी आपने कहीं से फील नहीं होने दिया, जाहिर नहीं होने दिया कि किसी तरह की फिजिकल डिसऑर्डर है। ये बहुत बड़ा मोटिवेशन है हम लोगों के लिए। एक थोड़ा सा मेरे पास क्वेश्चन ये था सर कि वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, सीवेज वाटर ट्रीटमेंट एक बहुत बड़ा इशू है सर। हम कहीं भी किसी भी सिटी में जाएं, तो हम देखेंगे कि सीधे सीधे वहां नियर बाई जो भी रिवर्स है सीधा सीवेज वाटर वहां पे रिलीज कर दिया जाता है।
बिल्कुल
तो
बिल्कुल
आने वाले समय में सर ये कंडीशन और भी बुरी होने वाली है, ये सभी लोग जानते हैं।
बिल्कुल
तो क्या
बिल्कुल
गवर्नमेंट इस पर वर्क नहीं कर रही कि ऐसी कोई पॉलिसीज नहीं है, या म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन हो गया या फिर जो भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज हैं, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज हैं, तो इस पे कोई वर्क हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है सर?
जी,
क्योंकि
क्या देखिए, इसके लिए जो सिटी या कस्बा या महानगर जो भी हैं, इनका जो मतलब वेस्ट वाटर निकलता है, वो सीधे सीधे नियम है, इसके लिए कानून है, एक्ट है कि उसको सीधे किसी वाटर बॉडी में नहीं डाल सकते। उसके लिए सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट STP लगाने। लेकिन क्या है, जिस रेशियो में आबादी बढ़ रही है, शहर महानगर बढ़ रहे हैं, और हमारा सिस्टम, हमारे नगर निगम नगर पालिकाएं और जो हमारा सिस्टम, ओवरऑल सिस्टम जिस ढंग से काम करता है, उसमें ये सारी चीजें बिल्कुल भी इफेक्टिव नहीं है। इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है कि इसमें पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन के जरिए छोटे छोटे पॉकेट्स में, लोकेलिटीज में छोटे छोटे STP लगा के, यदि उनका सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट करके ट्रीटेड वाटर अगर वाटर बॉडी में डाला जाए तो सोल्यूशन बन सकते हैं। और बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि ये स्कीम है, एक्ट है, कानून है, व्यवस्थाएं हैं, लेकिन ये एग्जीक्यूशन लेवल पे बहुत बड़ी कमी है। और भविष्य में जैसा आपका भी कहना है कि आबादी बढ़ेगी, पानी घटेगा तो पानी का पोल्यूशन लेवल बढ़ेगा, शहरी आबादी, शहर पे आबादी का बोझ बढ़ेगा तो पानी का पोल्यूशन बहुत सारी लिमिट्स को पार कर जाएगा, और शायद उस दिन हालात बदतर होंगे। हम उस बदतर हालात से बचने के लिए अभी भी अगर चेत जाए, समझ जाए, तो मुझे लगता है कि अभी भी सोल्यूशन निकल सकते हैं। इस काम को हमें अभी शुरू करना पड़ेगा, जो हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं।
करेक्ट सर, करेक्ट। थैंक यू सर।
ओके सर, थैंक यू
Sir,
सर।
sir, I must
थैंक यू डॉक्टर
salute
मिश्रा जी,
your
बहुत बहुत
gesture.
धन्यवाद आपका।
एक मिनट सर, कोई और क्वेश्चन पूछना चाह रहे
Sir, I just want to ask, as you said about the post-pandemic crisis.
यस यस
So,
यस यस
sir,
यस
will they be congenital? Because if they are going to be, then again it is going to be a very big threat to us.
यस यस। देखिए, your question is over
Yes, sir.
because there are multiple issues after the COVID will be over. Issues, the mental problem will be at the peak, and we have only roughly 4,000 to 5,000 mental experts, mental doctors, a psychiatrist in the population of 1.40 billion. Just see the ratio. 140 करोड़ आबादी में 4,000 5,000 साइकेट्रिस्ट हैं, जो शायद हमें लगता है इस देश में मेंटल प्रॉब्लम जिस तरह बढ़ने वाली हैं और बढ़ चुकी हैं, जिनको लोग दबा के चुपचाप बैठे, बच्चे, महिलाएं, वर्क प्लेस काम करने वाले लोग, बुढ़े लोग, कितने सारे ग्रुप्स हैं, जो करोड़ों जिनकी संख्या है। नंबर एक। दूसरा है कि आज भी दुनिया का बड़े से बड़ा एक्सपर्ट ये नहीं बता सकता कि कोरोना के खत्म होने के बाद शरीर में किस तरह की पोस्ट कोविड मीन 6 महीने से 1 साल के अंदर जो प्रॉब्लम्स पनपने वाली हैं, और लॉन्ग कोविड यानी 1 साल के बाद 2 3 4 5 सालों में जो प्रॉब्लम पनपेंगी, क्योंकि देयर इज ए काइंड ऑफ डिटेरियोरेशन इन दी ओवरऑल बॉडी, इन दी ऑर्गन्स ऑफ द बॉडी। अब ऑर्गन, मैंने जैसे बताया कि मेरी जो पेंक्रियाज है, पेंक्रियाज में एक वायरल इंड्यूस इन्फेक्शन हुआ, ऐसा बहुत कम होता है। तो ये इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ पोस्ट कोविड। इस तरह की प्रॉब्लम बोन्स पर, हार्ट पर, किडनी पर, लंग्स पर, लीवर पर, आपके मसल्स पर कहां होगी किसी को नहीं मालूम, ये तो समय बताएगा। तो हमें, भारत सरकार को, हमें लगता है कि पोस्ट कोविड लॉन्ग कोविड केयर के लिए एक नया सेटअप तैयार करना पड़ेगा। एट डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल हमें सारे एक एक्सपर्ट तैयार करने पड़ेंगे, एक ट्रेंड एक्सपर्ट। और उसके लिए मैंने बोला कि पैंडेमिक मैनेजमेंट एक भविष्य का एक नया डिसिप्लिन है, जिसको हमें तैयार करना पड़ेगा, जो लाखों बच्चों को जॉब देगा और भविष्य के भारत को सुरक्षा भी देगा, स्वास्थ्य की सुरक्षा भी देगा। जी।
Yes, sir. Can we introduce it in our curriculum too? Like, because coming generation, they should be aware of it.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल होना चाहिए। इट शुड बी एसेंशियली देयर इन दी एकेडमिक क्यूरिकुलम। अब भले ही वो एक यूनिट हो, लेकिन पेंडेमिक मैनेजमेंट है, सेफ वाटर हो, वायरस के बारे, वायरोलॉजी हो, जेनोम साइंस हो, 4 5 6 वैक्सीन डेवलपमेंट, इन सब के बारे में एक कंप्लीट 2-3 यूनिट का एक कोर्स डाला जा सकता है, ग्रेजुएशन लेवल पे या 11-12 लेवल पे बिल्कुल डाल सकते हैं। और बच्चों को, नई पीढ़ी को मुझे लगता है अवेयर करने में तैयार करेगा, होना चाहिए। और मैं तो कहूंगा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से, CSIR से कि इस तरह का रिकमेंडेशन भेजें उनको।
थैंक यू सर।
Okay, sir. Thank you. Professor K.S. Tiwari, sir, highlighted different challenges that occurred due to the COVID and pharmaceutical companies. He discussed about the Delta, Alpha, and Omicron, various different variants of COVID-19 and vaccines developed by our scientists. He talked about post-COVID problems, various challenges in pandemic management, transport problems, various medical instrumentation developed across the country, pandemic management with different medical instruments with the help of decarbonization on the world level. He continued the session with greenhouse gases problem, how to reduce the level of carbon dioxide and manage the temperature, problem of power generation industries, challenges of reducing the level of carbon dioxide by shutting down the thermal power plant, modification of combustion electric vehicle challenges. Professor Tiwari discussed about problems occurred by 5G technology. This is the forthcoming problem. Food safety problems, emerging challenges in science and technology, waste management, etc. Sir has covered a vast area of the science and technology, which challenges emerging in future. We feel that this session is a brainstorming session for the teachers, not a lecture, not a talk. This is a brainstorming. And I feel that and see the comments, teachers given their regards about the Professor K.S. Tiwari. So really, I am grateful to presence of the sir. Thank you, sir. I salute you for your dedication.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra ji. Thank you very much, Dr. Mishra ji. Thank you very much.
Dear participant, after 2 minutes, I will start the next session.
बोले सर आप तो बस भेज दो कि हम अपनी जगह में प्लांटेशन चाह रहे हैं। जेसीबी भेजी गड्ढे कर करके, समझे कि नहीं? पूरी हमने
Voice is not coming, sir. Oh, I think there is a break. It is not yet started.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Kirti. Kirti, madam, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
A very good morning and a warm welcome to our eminent speaker, Dr. Kirti Soni, Principal Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI, and all participants. Second day of Fifth National Science Teacher Workshop 2022 on Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge technology. Dr. Kirti has vast experience in the research and development field and has a very wide experience. Now I request to Shivani to introduce our speaker, Dr. Kirti Soni. Shivani, please.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Kirti is presently working as a principal scientist at CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. Dr. Kirti has done MSc in physics
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही
from HS Gaul University, Sagar, MP, India. Dr. Kirti previously worked as principal scientist at CSIR-NPL. She has wide experience in teaching and research and development. She has many publications in various reputed national and international journals and attended many international conferences. Dr. Kirti has area of expertise in air pollution, noise pollution, spectroscopy,
sound is not
nanotechnology,
coming
characterization, arena, and AN modeling on optical devices. Air pollution using artificial intelligence techniques such as artificial neural network, neurofuzzy, forward selection, gamma test, adaptive neurofuzzy interface system, and many more. She has received Dr. Pancholi Award. Dr. Kirti is member of many academic bodies such as IASTA India, Meteorological Society of India, Acoustical Society of India, Ultrasonic Society of India, and Indian Society of Remote Sensing. So now I request Dr. Kirti to begin today's session. Please, ma'am.
Good morning to all of you. Thank you, Shivani, for brief introduction. I would like to thank you, Mishra ji, and our director, respected director, for giving me this opportunity to present here. And in the topic I have chosen, my slide is visible.
Yes, madam, it is visible.
Yes, so I will try to explain in easy language so that everybody can understand why I have. Hello, excuse me.
Please continue, madam. Some
बता रहे
disturbance.
एयर क्वालिटी इक्विपमेंट
The topic which I have chosen is the calibration and assessment of air quality equipment. We know about the air quality equipment and their monitoring and the different types of equipments where we are using for the measurement of different types of air pollutants. So we know about the measurement, we know about the air quality index and all the information we are reading from newspaper and all, and we know the different types of parameter. But the steps, that the process behind these equipment is not, we are not aware about that. The as a SOx, there is a SOx gas analyzer, SOx or NOx, are different type of particulate matter measurement systems are there, like PM 2.5 sampler, PM 10 sampler. We are not understand that or not we have such type of understanding that the instrument that we are using are calibrated, are giving the true value, are giving the accurate value. There is a lot of problems that we are facing in the data of different type of equipments. So the main reason behind this talk is that so that we can understand the calibration and different type of exercises that we perform before the installation of any equipment, and what are the shortcomings and limitation of our Indian equipment, as we are purchasing different equipment from different countries. Many equipments we are exporting from other countries, and that equipments are designed and developed as per the requirement of that country, as each and every country have different type of geographical condition, topography and meteorological condition. So the instrument we are exporting from other countries, they are designed as per their environmental condition, and we are using that environmental condition equipment in our country. So main deviation in the data, as they are designed as per their country's standard, so they are giving some deviation and wrong result. So we don't know most of the in our studies there is not any explanation about the limitations and the traceability and the calibration is procedure of these equipment. We just purchase the equipment and start to operate, and we are collecting the data. But the data that we are collecting and that data we are using for our research purpose is accurate or not. We are using we don't have any explanation about the calibration. Is the data value is correct or not? From where we are comparing? What is the level of our assessment? From which instrument we are calibrating our equipment, or we are not calibrating, just we are using and collecting the data and publishing the research paper. So the main problem behind the air quality equipment is that, as I have told, that there each and every country and each and every area have the different geographical condition and topography. So we have to design the system as per the region, requirement of the region. And second thing, that we have, there are many issues for the air quality equipments, that we don't, the atmosphere is, every day we have the unique features, and that feature will not repeat next day and again. So there is no repetition of any phenomena, atmospheric phenomena again and again. So there are different types of challenges that we are facing for the calibration of the air quality equipment, and these are the issue we will discuss here. And I will one by one I will try to explain so that we can understand the level of calibration, how it is important, and how we can process to remove this traceability issue. So there has been a boom in equipment for real-time monitoring of air quality, and right now there is an increase in the monitoring station time to time because of the cities. There are a lot of industrialization, transportation, so air quality is degrading day by day. So there is a requirement of more and more air quality stations. So our government is installing and doing all the things. So there is a boom of equipment for real-time monitoring of air quality. There are affordable and portable devices are available, but experts have question on these, whether they are properly calibrated, capable of giving accurate readings or not. As an approach, this is a good. We are expanding our monitoring network now, and quality control is very important. Credible data is needed. Along with that, once instruments are certified, we need transparent dissemination of data. Under the National Clean Air Program, the center aims to expand air monitoring network to cities that don't comply with air quality standards. In August 2019, recently, it is not more earlier, in August recently, before 1 or 2 years, in August 2019, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change recently given the responsibility to CSIR National Physical Laboratory as a national agency that shall be responsible for the calibration and accreditation and validation of the air quality equipment. And NPL is the responsible for the maintenance and design of the air quality equipment. These days, many low quality instruments are flooding the market, and there is no basis to choose the right product. In most cases, the design of the instrument deviates from the standard given by the US EPA, Environmental Protection Agency.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Ma'am, are you, changing the slides because we cannot see?
Just a minute. I will read. This is just the information.
Acha, okay. I'm so sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
So, in most of the cases, the design and instrument deviate from the standard. Standard is given by the Environmental Protection Agency. Just a minute, it is moving or not? Yes, moving. So Environmental Protection Agency has given, there is a standard given by the US Environmental Protection Agency. We have to design the environmental equipment as per the standard. So there is not any procedure so that we can identify the instrument is designed as per their requirement, or there is some deviation from the standard. So in this case, NPL will be able to test the instrument, and NPL will certify the instrument, and any product will be certified, and the certification will also be performed by the National Physical Laboratory, that is the NMI of India. Each and every country have an NMI where in India we have National Physical Laboratory, which is in New Delhi. So this is the main institute that is responsible for the maintenance and dissemination of the standards. So every air quality equipment should be calibrated from NMI, means NPL India. but there is we observed that there is a deviation from many types of calibration procedures is CRMs, certified reference materials. So there are a lot of limitation and deviation from the standard procedure we are observing. So how to remove that limitation and deviation, how we can calibrate our data, calibrate our instrument so that we can download the authentic data. So there are different types of challenges we are facing. So in this presentation, just I want to explain what is the limitation, what are the different types of problem that air quality equipment manufacturer or user faces. So I am explaining here and try to show all the represent the all the types of limitation and challenges. So the presentation is divided in these are the outline, in which first I will explain what is the calibration, why it is important, and what is the international system of measurement, and what is the traceability. Without traceability we cannot validate, accredit our equipment. So what is the traceability and how we can manage the traceability, how we can manage the unbroken chain of calibration, what is that unbroken chain of calibration. And there is a lot of traceability issue in the air quality measurement, so we will also discuss that. And our National Physical Laboratory as recently have designed, as there was some lot of problems in the data of particulate sampler, so we will also discuss that issue also one by one. So first of all, I would like to explain about the calibration. I would like to what is the calibration, but not at that I know that there is not a understanding of calibration. It's how it is performed and what is the procedure. So I want to show you the calibration is the documented comparison of measurement device to be calibrated against the traceable reference device. Means if you want to calibrate any equipment, so there should be a reference. We are calibrating means we are comparing with the reference. So the reference standard can also be referred as a calibrator, and logically the reference is more accurate than the device to be calibrated, and the reference device should also be calibrated traceably. So you can see here, their calibration is the very important for our life, and all the industries or the manufacturing devices are depend on the calibration. Without calibration it is not possible to work. So many industries for the trade, our trade business, and for exporting, importing, calibration of the equipment plays an important role. So one by one I will discuss. First of all, many industries depend on accurate measurement of temperature, humidity, weights and pressure. So जैसे कि यहाँ आप देख रहे हैं blood pressure monitor. We in our daily life, in fact in our house we have blood pressure monitor. So जैसे कि हम मॉनिटर करते हैं, और यदि ये आपने ब्लड प्रेशर मेजर किया, यदि ये इक्विपमेंट आपका कैलिब्रेटेड नहीं है, तो आपको एक गलत डाटा मिलेगा और जिसके बेसिस पर आप मेडिसिन लोगे. So that is also harmful for your health. So this is the basic example from that I want to explain the importance of calibration. Next is the glucometer. If the glucometer is not giving the accurate value, so again the error in your exact value, or deviation in your exact value again create a problem for your health. And thermometer, if we measure the fever and temperature, and it is again if it is not calibrated, then it can also harm your health. So there are different type of measure in science. There is a different type of measurement science, and there are different associated different parameter. So for the measurement of that parameter, for accurately measurement of that parameter, the instrument should be calibrated. So this is the I am showing here some few examples, but there are a huge amount of science and technology, different types of their branches where calibration is must. So without calibration, the result and the equipment is useless. If the blood pressure monitor is not calibrated, if the glucometer is not calibrated, if the thermometer is not calibrated, then on that and you are using, so on the basis of wrong data, you are taking the medicine, or you are taking the medicine, and that is also harmful for your health. And improper calibration resulting in inaccurate measurement and can cause injury, illness, and extreme cases even death can also be happen. So this is the main point that I want to represent you. What is the importance of calibration? This is why this is from your daily life, and you are using such type of many equipment that should be calibrated. And you also be aware about the importance of calibration, why we are talking about the calibration, why it is so important. So you have to also explain your family members and all, so that they can understand the importance of calibration. So here we are discussing in the field of air quality monitoring equipment. There are lots of branches of science, and lots of fields where calibration of the equipment is required. So main is first the main is the international system. Each and every country associated with is the member of the international system, or it is the globally agreed basis for expressing many measurements at all levels of precision and in all areas of science and technology. SI is the international system of units that specify the basic units used in the measurement science. There are 7 base main units: meter, kilogram, second, ampere, Kelvin, mole, and candela. So you know about all these basic units. And to establish, maintain, and improve continuously by research for the benefits of national standards of measurement, and to realize the units based on the international system. So you know about all the basic system, main SI system. So what is the traceability? The SI system is the international system, and each country associated with SI system. And we manage the traceability. What is the traceability? First, yes, this traceability is the unbroken chain of calibration comparison. If I have this is the vernier calipers, and this is the reference. So we are calibrating our vernier calipers with the reference here. So the reference, the traceability means the vernier calipers will be calibrated from the reference, that this is the reference, and this reference should also be calibrated from other primary standard, and that primary standard should also be calibrated from other standard. I will show the traceability chain so that you can understand this is the unbroken chain of calibration. If the equipment is not calibrated, if there is a deviation from the calibration, in that there is not the presence of unbroken chain of calibration, then that equipment is not valid. So for the calibration, there should be the unbroken chain. Unbroken chain means here we are calibrating the vernier calipers with the reference, and that reference is again calibrated with the another lab, and another lab system should also be calibrated from the above label calibration system. And this is the unbroken chain where one by one we are calibrating our system by higher measurement system. So here the vernier calibrator, we are calibrating the vernier calibrator by calibrator. Calibrator means reference. Vernier caliper we use should have been calibrated using a more accurate reference calibrator. Reference calibrator give the more accurate reading in comparison to the vernier calibration calibrator. That caliper, that's why we are using the reference word. Reference calibrator should be calibrated with the even higher level standard. Even high level standard, or sent out to an accredited or national calibration center for calibration. And if the traceability chain is broken at any point, if the traceability chain is broken at any point, any measurement below that cannot be considered reliable. It means if we are measuring the calibrating the vernier calipers with this reference, and this reference is not traceable with higher level of standard, then this measurement will not be reliable. So for the calibration, there should be the traceability chain, or that traceability chain should not be broken. So now you can understand. Here, this is the sound level meter that is measuring the sound pressure level, and we are using this is the calibrator. We are using this calibrator for measuring the sound pressure level. So we have calibrated this sound level meter by using this calibrator, and this calibrator again calibrated by the NABL accredited lab. And NABL accredited lab have the system by which the NABL personnel calibrated the calibrator for the sound measurement, and the NABL system will be calibrated by the NMI system standard, that is the National Physical Laboratory maintained primary standard. So this is the chain, and the NMI NPL will calibrate their primary with the BIPM, that is the International Bureau of Weights and Measures. So this is the traceability chain. We are purchasing the sound level meter. We are calibrating by the calibrator, and that calibrator will be calibrated from the NABL accredited lab. अब NABL accredited lab जो होंगी वो किससे अपना calibration कराएंगी? NMI. Each country have an NMI. That is the in our country में कौन सा है? CSIR National Physical Laboratory. So हमारी जो जितनी भी NABL accredited lab हैं वो क्या करती हैं? NMI से अपना इंस्ट्रूमेंट कैलिब्रेट कराती हैं. NMI के पास क्या होता है? NMI रिस्पॉन्सिबल है स्टैंडर्ड को मेंटेन करने के लिए और डिसिमिनेशन के लिए. तो जो NPL होगी वो अपना स्टैंडर्ड कहाँ से मेंटेन करेगी? BIPM से. दैट इज द इंटरनेशनल बॉडी, जहां पर की कंपैरिजन के थ्रू हम क्या करते हैं, हमारी जो पैरामीटर्स की हमारी जो कैपेबिलिटीज हैं उनको प्रूफ करते हैं. तभी हमारा जो ट्रेड है, बिजनेस है, हम एक्सपोर्ट कर पाते हैं या इंपोर्ट करते हैं, बाहर भेजते हैं अपना जो भी इक्विपमेंट है या कुछ भी है, तो वो तभी रिलायबल है जब वो कैलिब्रेटेड है. और कैलिब्रेटेड मीन अनब्रोकन चेन ऑफ ट्रेसेबिलिटी. इट शुड बी ट्रेसेबल. तो ट्रेसेबल कैसे होगा? जैसे आपने इधर देखा कि साउंड लेवल मीटर है, कैलिब्रेटर है, कैलिब्रेटर को हमने कैलिब्रेट किया NABL accredited लैब. अब NABL accredited लैब की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो अपना सिस्टम टाइम टू टाइम कैलिब्रेट करके रखे NMI से. अब NMI की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो अपना जो सिस्टम है उसको वो कैलिब्रेट करके रखे SI सिस्टम, मतलब इंटरनेशनली जो आपका एजेंसी है वहां से NMI को ईच एंड एवरी पैरामीटर को कैलिब्रेट करना पड़ेगा थ्रू दी अनब्रोकन चेन ऑफ की कंपैरिजन के थ्रू. तो यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हैं ये है अनब्रोकन चेन ऑफ ट्रेसेबिलिटी. तो जब तक ये नहीं है आप नहीं कह सकते कि आपका सिस्टम कैलिब्रेटेड है या वर्किंग प्रॉपर कर रहा है, डाटा रिलायबल है। आप इधर देखेंगे, जैसे यहाँ पर आप ये एक पिरामिड है, यहाँ पर जैसे ये प्रोसेस इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, लेवल मीटर, वर्किंग स्टैंडर्ड, इसको हमने किसने कैलिब्रेट किया, वर्किंग स्टैंडर्ड से कैलिब्रेटेड हुआ। फिर इसके बाद ये वर्किंग स्टैंडर्ड जो है ये सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड से कैलिब्रेटेड है, सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड जो है प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड से कैलिब्रेटेड है, और प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड जो है वो एनएमआई के थ्रू कैलिब्रेटेड है। तो ये इंटरनेशनल यूनिट है, पूरा एक ट्रेसेबिलिटी पिरामिड है जो आपको बता रहा है कि ईच एंड एवरी इक्विपमेंट, if we are saying it is calibrated, then it means it is calibrated to higher level with the unbroken chain of calibration. That is called the traceability. So आप कभी भी ये वर्ड आता है कि ट्रेसेबिलिटी का मतलब क्या है, तो कैलिब्रेशन के लिए एक ट्रेसेबिलिटी चेन होना जरूरी है कि वन बाय आप किसी भी तरीके का इक्विपमेंट यूज कर रहे हो तो वो किसी हायर लेवल स्टैंडर्ड से कैलिब्रेटेड होगा, उसको और हायर, फिर उसके बाद और, तो ये अनब्रोकन चेन ऑफ कैलिब्रेशन शुड बी फॉलो फॉर द रिलायबल डाटा। अब जैसे कि मैंने बताया ट्रेसेबिलिटी पिरामिड, ये देखिए आप इधर, ये यहाँ पर ट्रेसेबिलिटी पिरामिड, ये मेजरिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, मेजरिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट को कैलिब्रेट किया वर्किंग स्टैंडर्ड से, फिर रेफरेंस स्टैंडर्ड से ये कैलिब्रेटेड होंगे। रेफरेंस स्टैंडर्ड कहाँ से कैलिब्रेटेड होगा, सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड से। सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड को कहाँ से कैलिब्रेट करेंगे, प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड से, और फिर ये इंटरनेशनल सिस्टम से पूरा सारी कंट्रीज जो हैं, अदर कंट्रीज जो हैं, वो क्या करती हैं, अपने जो मेंटेन करती हैं प्राइमरी को, उसको कैलिब्रेट करती हैं, और वो जो कैलिब्रेशन टाइम टू टाइम एक एज पर दी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन देयर इज अ 1 ईयर 2 ईयर टाइम लिमिट होता है, जिसमें कि उस टाइम में आपको अपने सिस्टम को अपडेट करके रखना है, मेंटेन करना है और अपनी कैपेबिलिटीज को डिसमिनेट करना है। तो एनएमआई क्या करेगी, एक्रीडेशन लैब, जो एनएबीएल एक्रीडेशन लैब हैं, अदर लैब हैं जो ऑथराइज्ड है इसके लिए, उनको डिसमिनेट करेगी, उनको सारा ये कैलिब्रेशन जो उनके इक्विपमेंट है उनको कैलिब्रेट करेगी। फिर उसके बाद जो एनएबीएल एक्रीडेटेड लैब होंगी वो फिर इंडस्ट्रीज वगैरह को सपोर्ट करेगी, उनके इक्विपमेंट को कैलिब्रेट करेगी, फिर यूजर उसको यूज करेगा। तो दिस इज द अनब्रोकन चेन ऑफ कैलिब्रेशन। Now to understand the different type, as I told that this is the basic that I explain about the calibration. So there is a different type of structure in the atmosphere. From this slide I want to explain you, there is a variability in the atmosphere, there is the temperature variability in the atmosphere, there are different type of layers in the atmosphere. So there is variation in the temperature and with the height. So these are the different layer of the atmosphere: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere. So there is a temperature variation. Here temperature is decreasing, again it is increasing, and there is a variability in the temperature. So we have to measure this variability. So that is not stable, that is variable condition. I want to show this. There is a variability in our atmosphere that we want to measure using the air quality equipment. So there is another is the solar radiation and the atmosphere. So there is a different types of wavelength observed in the solar radiation. So the solar radiation is responsible for the cloud formation, precipitation, local weather condition, and we observe our electromagnetic spectrum have all wavelength in short wave, long wave wavelength, and greenhouse effect also found when long wavelength radiation is absorbed in the troposphere. So there is a variability in our atmosphere, and solar radiation, there is a different types of wavelength and frequency we observe in our electromagnetic spectrum, and forms of energy with short wavelengths such as gamma rays, high frequency wavelengths. Here you can see that gamma rays absorbed by the atmosphere, x-rays, UV rays, some part of UV absorbed in the atmosphere, some we received in the surface. Visible light we observe here, infrared radiation we observe here, and radio waves we received on the ground. So these different layers of the atmosphere absorb the different types of radiation. UV radiation, visible light we observe, X-ray, gamma rays, short wavelength radiation absorbed in the atmosphere, different layers of the atmosphere, and each and every layer of the atmosphere have their different characteristics by which they absorb the radiation. So you can see here that Earth is rotating, and by the rotation of Earth we are observing different type of seasons, winter, summer. It depends on the orientation of Earth, how Earth is tilted on its axis in relation to the sun. So by changing these Earth rotation and its position from the sun, we observe different types of seasons. So as you know about the atmospheric aerosol. So there are different types of aerosols. You heard about the particulate matter, PM 2.5, PM 1, PM 10. These are the aerosols. The particles are very small size, suspended in the atmosphere. So atmospheric aerosols have a greater significance recently in climate study because of their potential to perturb the radiation balance. What is the radiation balance? The change in the incoming and outgoing radiation. That is called the radiation forcing. So particulate matter means aerosols are major responsible for the change in the climate, means the radiation forcing. So for the measurement of aerosols, the particulate matter are a fine type of aerosols are also affect the our radiation budget, and the direct and indirect effect of the particulate matters are these are necessary for the cloud formation, and another negative effect of the aerosols are these are responsible for the radiation forcing. So this is the incoming solar radiation 100%. This is the evaporation. 51% is used for evaporation, infrared radiation, conduction, and convection, and 19% absorbed by clouds, and 30% reflected from the cloud and atmosphere and Earth's surface. So this is the nature phenomena कि इतना percent यहाँ absorb होगा, यहाँ से reflect होगा, या फिर there is a different type of convection में use हो गया या evaporation होगा. तो there is a natural phenomena. So if there is a deviation from this phenomena, then there is a climate change. We observe the climate change and increase in the temperature of the Earth. So they are aerosols, or atmospheric aerosols, particulate matter are important for why we are measuring as when these particles surface, they absorb the sunlight and they scatter the sunlight and they reduce the visibility and interact with directly and indirectly both radiation budget and climate. So there are important parameter that is responsible for the our radiation budget and climate. And as a direct effect, aerosol scattered sunlight directly back into the space. And as an indirect effect, aerosol in the lower atmosphere can modify the size of the cloud particle, changing how the cloud reflects and absorbs sunlight, and thereby affecting the Earth's energy budget. So radiative forcing is the change in the energy flux in the atmosphere caused by the natural and anthropogenic factors of climate change. So this is the main I want to explain here that the aerosol is the combination. There is not reference value of the concentration of aerosol. There is that is the combination of different type of components like SOx, NOx, ammonia, and here is organic aerosols. And there is a primary type aerosols and secondary type of aerosols. They are mixing together and forming a different type of particulate matter. So there is not definite concentration of the aerosol. So this is the major issue for the measurement of the particulate matter. So to overcome this issue, our scientists have develop different type of method and develop the reference for the calibration of the amount of concentration of the particulate matter. There are different types of instrument that we can use for the measurement of aerosol optical depth. This is the microtop sun photometer. Before if we don't have the capability for the measure, actually the industries are manufacturing the equipment, and they are giving the calibration certificate along with the equipment, but there is not any facility available for the calibration of these aerosol measurement equipment in India. So we have to develop such type of facility so that we can calibrate our equipment. If one sun photometer is giving the aerosol optical depth, another is giving another value, third here are the four microtop sun photometer, and four are giving the different value. So how we can how we can accurate the which instrument is giving the accurate value? There is a question in our mind, which type of sun photometer we should select, and how we can remove the how we can measure the accurately. So for to overcome this limitation, क्या करते थे कि different type of sun photometer लिया. आप जैसे सोलर इक्लिप्स के लिए आपने कोई मेजरमेंट के लिए प्लान किया तो वी कलेक्टेड द सन फोटोमीटर ऑफ 10 लैब्स का सन फोटोमीटर आपने लिया, उसको एक साथ एक ही जगह पर मेजरमेंट किया, फिर उसके बाद उस मेजरमेंट में दिखाया कि एक को रिफरेंस मानकर कि बाकी सन फोटोमीटर जो हैं कितनी वैल्यू दे रहे हैं, तो प्लस माइनस उसका देकर ही फिर उसके बाद किसी भी मेजरमेंट के लिए उनको भेजा जाता था, जिससे कि जो ऑल द सन फोटोमीटर जो भी हैं वो एक्यूरेटली एक सा ही वैल्यू प्रोवाइड करें. तो एक ये इस तरीके का एक एक्सरसाइज की जाती थी कि क्योंकि जब आपने जब परचेज किया तो आपके पास इसका कैलिब्रेशन सर्टिफिकेट है, पर जब आप इसको यूज कर रहे हो तो धीरे धीरे देयर इज अ डिग्रेड इन द क्वालिटी ऑफ द इक्विपमेंट. सो हाउ वी कैन आइडेंटिफाई आवर इक्विपमेंट इज वर्किंग वेल और नॉट, इट इज गिविंग एक्यूरेटली डाटा. So for that we are performing such type of exercise. So there are lot of limitations of our equipment as they are designed as per the geographical and competition of the other countries. So this is the equipment that we have developed in our country. So for the development of this equipment, we have also faced lot of limitation. This is the SODA system that we have developed in CSIR-AMPRI, and there is a limitation for the calibration of this equipment, how we can calibrate this equipment. So for this we have designed the system, and this is the disk that is the major part of the system. In this equipment we send the sound pulse in the atmosphere and receive the scattered sound signal reflected from the inhomogeneity of the system. We receive that signal, and on that basis we calculate the atmospheric boundary layer height of the atmosphere. Atmospheric boundary layer height is the important parameter that is must essentially required mandatory requirement for the any type of modeling work. So a SODAR antenna measured the ABL height. ABL means the atmospheric boundary layer height. That is the essential parameter. So how we can calibrate our system? So initially we have calibrated the each and every part of our system. Here we use the transducer, disk. So we have calibrated the each and every part of the system. This is the I will show you in the next slide. This is the SODAR antenna that transmit the sound signal in the atmosphere, and we receive the signal from the same antenna. And by using some software, we are tracing the atmospheric boundary layer height. This is the height of our atmosphere ABL height. So for what is the procedure? How do we calibrate our system? For calibrate this is the our working of our antenna. Here we are sending the signal from the antenna, and this is the height that we are observing from our antenna. So this is the procedure. for the working of our soda system. This is indigenously designed and developed. So for the calibration of this system, we have initially calibrated the each and every part of the antenna, and another is this is the result data that we observed from this soda system. Here is the design. These are the chambers designed as per ISO international standard. So we have calibrated the transducer disc arrangement by using the microphone and calibrated sound level meter. So we have calibrated the each arrangement. This is the calibrated sound level meter. It is calibrated by the primary standard and traceable. So we can rely on this data, and we have calibrated the arrangement, these arrangement. So now we get the we calibrated the antenna, and this is the calibration of the equipment, and the data they are giving, it is accurate or not, how we can identify. So for that we have validated our system with the another system, that is called the radio sound. We have used the radio sound. We have used the radio sound, and for the 1 year we parallelly operated a radio sound and the soda system for 1 year, and we observed some correction factor that we have used in our soda system. So this is the procedure that we have used for the calibration of our soda system. Similarly, we have validated our system data with the satellite data, that satellite sensors also calibrated. So there are different type of approaches we have applied for the calibration and validation of our system. So similarly, another type I want to show you, we have also calibrated with the other country, Russia. We have also calibrated with the Russia, so that we can rely our data how it is accurate or not. So there are a lot of traceability issue we observed in the air quality measurement, and there is a different types of, as I have told that कि जैसे कि आपने सौ गैस एनालाइजर हैं, तो we have the standard CRM, certified reference material, certified reference gases. For that can be work as a reference material, and we can calibrate the SOx and NOx gas analyzer. But for the particulate matter calibration, there is a limitation. We cannot calibrate the each and every sampler, as there are different type of parameters. So how we can say that this PM sampler is performing best and this is not performing best? So there is lot of limitation in front of our scientists. So they have worked, and they have designed a system. They have as per the environmental impact assessment procedure, they have given the 3 technique for the measurement of particulate matter. And when we measure the aerosol from that instrument, so there is a variability of 30% of different methods. They have given reference methods, 3 different methods for the measurement of PM 2.5 and PM 2.5 and PM 10. So that method was not when simultaneously operated all the equipment, then there was a deviation of 30% in data. So which method is accurate? Which should we use? That is the question in our mind. So for the traceable calibration, they have designed our NPL in 2021. They have designed a system that is reliable, and as per the US government Environmental Protection Agency developed standards. So each and every country have their own standard, as I told that there is a different type of environmental condition and geographical condition. So other country standard we cannot use in our country. So we have defined our quality standards, and there is a regulation limit of criteria pollutant is different in the standards of different countries, and most of the countries have set the limit of pollutant for a specific time duration, and most site specific for the industrial and residential use. So there is a limits for the industrial use is different, and residential use is different, and commercial use is different. So the NOx tells about the geographical condition, climate condition, lifestyle of common people, and source emission status in the country. So every country have different air quality regulations. These are the some regulations. These are the three reference methods that can be used for the measurement of PM 2.5 and PM 10. First is the gravimetric determination, other is the beta determination, in which we use the beta rays, and next is the tapered element oscillating microbalance technique, where PM is collected on the filter, which is placed on the top of an oscillating element, and corresponding change in the oscillating frequency is measured. So these are the three techniques that we can use, but there is a deviation in the result of all these techniques. So for the reliable data, these are the more than 30% difference in mass measurement were reported in these three techniques, and the problem was why we observed this deviation and difference in these techniques. The main reason was impactor cyclones should be calibrated. ये calibrated नहीं था. Flow rate of the samples should be calibrated. वो भी calibrated नहीं है. And beta rays frequency sensor should also be calibrated. These are the parameters that should be calibrated. By calibrating such type of arrangement, we can observe the reliable data. But the main reason for the difference was that the component of the system was not calibrated. So better to use one RM for all measurement to avoid any biases due to difference in operating principle under different condition. So क्या था, हमने क्या किया कि there should be a same single method that should be applicable in all countries. यदि हर जगह एक ही मेथड का हम यूज करेंगे तो उसमें रिलायबल डाटा ज्यादा होगा, उसमें वो कैलिब्रेटेड होगा, और एक ही मेथड यूज करने से क्या होगा कि बायसेस जो होता है वो अवॉइड कर सकते हैं, और हमें डिफरेंट ऑपरेटिंग कंडीशन में एक ही प्रिंसिपल का यूज करने से जो होगा एक्यूरेट रिजल्ट मिलेगा. So to overcome these limitations, recently CSIR-AMPRI has developed a wind tunnel facility to test and calibrate the PM1, PM 2.5 and PM 10 sampler. This is the unique facility that NPL has developed for the. This is the first in our country, recently developed to calibrate the PM 2.5 sampler in our country. This is by using this, it is easy to stabilize the flow rate, can be controlled by using this technique, and other countries also have the facility. So some countries have such type of facility, but recently India have also developed. So requires less the main advantage of this facility is it is easy to maintain, stabilize the flow quality, requires less test particles or certified reference materials to maintain the same concentration as in the large wind tunnels. Enough particle numbers and mass bigger large particles can be achieved and maintained in the test section as illustration is reduced, and construction is cost effective, and they need a less space for the installation. So these are the main advantage of this wind tunnel facility, that is unique facility developed by our CSIR lab. So by using this facility, where this the aerosol research, that there is a aerosol is the combination of different type of different type of particles it is the primary, secondary. So the reference aerosol can also be generated by using this sampler, and they have by using this we can calibrate the different type of particulate matter sensor and deposition, low cost sensor assessment. low cost sensor जो developed अलग अलग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्रीज कर रही थी, तो उनका एक कैलिब्रेशन के लिए एक प्लेटफॉर्म हो गया जो कि NMI ऑफ इंडिया ने डेवलप किया, कि इसके बेसिस पर आप जब अपना कैलिब्रेट करोगे तो जो डाटा जो होगा वो रिलायबल होगा और एक हिस्सा होगा. So finally, maintaining the homogeneity and stability of the test aerosol at higher air velocities for longer duration is easier for this wind tunnel owing to its compactness. So this wind tunnel facility remove the problem of calibration of the particulate matter sampler. Next is the MPL is also developed a method for the NOx, nitrogen and oxide measurement. There is a different technique. There are different technique as nitrogen oxide are important air pollutant that have effect on regional as well as global climates. And as they participate in formation of secondary pollutants and the ozone gas. The uses of fossil fuels such as diesel and automobiles, biomass burning, high temperature combustion process in various industries are major sources of nitrogen oxide emissions, NOx emission in the atmosphere. So higher concentration of NOx in ambient air can lead to several respiratory disorder in humans, and nitrogen oxide is included in National Ambient Air Quality Standard as one of the regulatory parameter, which with defined reference and equivalent measurement techniques. The accuracy and precision of measurement technique, method, and instrument hold great importance in reporting the regulatory pollutant data as per the NAAQS and International Organization for Standardization standards. So the uncertainty in the measurement of the ambient NOx analyzer has been removed, and they have used two methods, manual and continuous, and developed a procedure for the sampling of NOx samples. And they have this is the second apparatus they have designed for the calibration of the NOx analyzer. So there are a lot of work to be done, and to be that is not in our public domain. We don't have the awareness about the analyzer and different type of, we are using the analyzer, but we don't have they are reliable, that are reliable or not, who is controlling the standard of that analyzer, which agency is calibrating the analyzer, is it calibrated or not. So we don't have awareness about that. We should have as recently we are working on the calibration. We have started on the working of the calibration of the air quality equipment. Recently in 2019, NPL has been is the responsible. In 2019, August 2019 started, and there are a lot of work to be done for the calibration of the lot of method has to be developed for the calibration of the different types of gas analyzer, particulate matter, and there are lot of issues, lot of limitations in the development. So in the future we are working, and the main motive to show all the basics of and what is the behind of the measurement of air quality, so that you can also think about how we can remove the calibration, how we can different issues that we observed in the calibration, how we can observe the accurate data, what are the limitations, how we can remove. So these are the main thing that we should address, and we should work on that, and our student or our our researchers should work, and we have to develop and work more, as air quality is directly affect our health and life. So it is very important for us to develop such type of facility and to work together with the industry. That industries are working and developing different type of air quality equipment that is not reliable. They are deviating from the standard. So how we can identify? There should be easy and accurate method. So identify the identification of the different type of equipment, so that we can identify that this is working properly or not. So we can certify the equipment. So there should be a easy, and as NPL is working on that, and we have to also work for the development of the easy and accurate method, reliable method as per the standard. So there is some अभी बहुत ही काम इसमें बाकी है. दिस इज दी स्टार्टिंग. सो अभी जैसे कि 2019 में स्टार्ट हुआ, 2021 में एक नया आया, इसके बारे में लोगों को जागरूकता हुई, अवेयरनेस आई कि ये क्या हो रहा है, डाटा अलग अलग है, तो ये सिमिलरिटी होनी चाहिए, कौन रिलायबल होना चाहिए. वेरिएशन इन डाटा क्यों है? एक ही जगह के डाटा में कहीं कोई इक्विपमेंट कुछ दे रहा है, कोई कुछ दे रहा है, तो ये डेविएशन क्यों है? तो इसके लिए फिर सोचना शुरू किया, काम करना शुरू किया. सो वी शुड वर्क टुगेदर विद द इंडस्ट्री, सो दैट इंडस्ट्री जो कि सिस्टम डिजाइन करे वो एक्यूरेट हो, वो भी कैलिब्रेटेड हो. सो रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज, मिनिस्ट्री शुड वर्क टुगेदर विद एनएमआईज टू इम्प्रूव द डाटा, कि आप जो सिस्टम डिजाइन कर रहे हो उसको कैलिब्रेट करते जाओ, जिससे कि डाटा क्वालिटी, एम्बिएंट मेजरमेंट वो इम्प्रूव हो, रिलायबल हो और एक्यूरेट हो. थैंक यू. दिस इज ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड.
Dear participants, if you have any query, any questions, so please.
Madam.
Yes.
Good. I want to know myself a chemistry on Google. Madam, what is the authentic organization in India to calibrate different lab items? What we are purchasing, to know the accuracy of authentic organization? How we will know which certificate is valid and authentic for us, madam?
As I have told that NMI India, that is the National Physical Laboratory, is responsible for the maintenance of the standards of all type of parameter. NMI provide accreditation to other laboratories. There are more than 5,000 accreditation laboratories, NAPL accredited lab that also responsible for the calibration of each and every equipment.
আমাদের
So
বোধহয়
we can
7 তারিখে
calibrate from the
14 তারিখে
accreditation lab.
আরো দুদিনের
Each
মধ্যে
state have accreditation lab.
কি একটা পাল্লা
And
দিয়ে
each city have accreditation lab that have calibrated equipment with NMI. So this by using that accreditation lab of your city, of your state, you can calibrate your equipment. And there are some private agencies also doing good work in calibration of the equipment. So you can use, and you can also the list of equipment, NBL and NPL website and NBL website, National Accreditation Board of Laboratories. You can see the list of laboratories from where you can calibrate your equipment.
One thing, madam, actually when we are purchasing any items, I mean,
Yes.
they are writing, I mean, is there any symbol or is there any indication while we are
Yes.
by showing this?
If you are purchasing an equipment, so in specification of the equipment, you should add the instrument should be calibrated from NMI or any accredited lab. So this line should be used before any purchasing. यदि जो इंडस्ट्री है वो यदि accredited है तभी आपको प्रोवाइड करेगी, उसका सिस्टम एक्रेडिटेड है, कैलिब्रेटेड है तभी प्रोवाइड करेगी. तो आपको क्या करना है कि आपको उसको डिमांड करनी है कि सर्टिफिकेशन आपने कहाँ से कराया, कैलिब्रेशन आपने कहाँ से कराया. तो आपको स्पेसिफिकेशन जब आप डिजाइन करते हो किसी भी इक्विपमेंट के परचेसिंग के लिए, सो आपको ये लाइन ऐड करनी है, द इक्विपमेंट शुड बी कैलिब्रेटेड बाय NMI और एनी एक्रेडिटेशन लैब. सो जो आपको सप्लाई करेगा वो सप्लायर आपको ये कंफर्म भी करेगा कि वी हैव कैलिब्रेटेड.
Thank you, madam.
Any other question?
Participants, have any questions? Please ask, feel free. I think no question, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mishra ji. Thank you for the organizing members for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for the listener. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kirti, for a wonderful talk on calibration and assessment of air quality equipments. Really, it is an amazing talk. Everybody using equipment, but not know its behind strategy. You have elaborated everything of its pros and cons. Now, I hope that participants get benefited and upgraded their knowledge in this field. The questions from participants I show the success of session. You have given talk and elaborated the subject in a very simple manner. Now I request Ms. Shivani Pandey to conclude the session. Shivani, please.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for informative and technical talk. Now I'm sharing some insight of this wonderful session. Dr. Kirti Soni started the session with different equipments used in different pollutants of air quality index, different issues related to air quality index, and importance of calibration, monitoring requirement of air quality index, quality control, climate change effect, EPA, basic details of calibration and its importance. Dr. Soni continues the session with traceability issues in air quality management, design and development of wind tunnel for PM sampler calibration, structure of atmosphere, solar radiation, electromagnetic spectrum, other factors that influence energy coming into the atmospheres, development of calibrative evaluator SODAR with difference of air quality management. She concluded the session with traceability issue of PM measurement versus other parameters of air quality, impact on health and climate effect, missing traceability in aerosols measurements, air quality regulation in different countries, and many more. Thank you, ma'am, for such an excellent lecture. Next session will be started within 5 minutes, so be there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Ji, good afternoon. Bhargavi here.
So we have our next session speaker with us, and we will connect. We will start within 2 minutes.
Shivani, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Audible.
you.
Yeah.
चलो लंच आएंगे वर्षा इसमें जो न्यू एडमिशन हुआ है उस बच्चे की जानकारी अपने को
Participants, please mute your mic. I request all participants to please mute your mic. Tanushree Rani Sahu.
Bhargav sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ji.
Slide हो रही sir.
Yeah. Basically, my boss is.
Good afternoon, sir, all of you.
Good afternoon to all of you. Mr. Ji, if you permit me, we can start basically afterward. My bus is 1 p.m. Then we have to rush it if possible for you.
Start करें session.
Yeah, definitely I'm ready for that. Please.
Okay sir. Slides तो मैं wait कर रहा था. You are sharing slide.
Okay, I'm just sharing the slide. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Start with testing. My slide is visible to you?
Yes, sir. It is uploading.
Please let me know it is available there.
No sir. No sir. It shows starting to share content.
Is it?
It's visible now.
Okay.
Yes, sir, visible.
Visible it? Okay, thanks.
Okay, sir. A very good afternoon and welcome to our eminent speaker, Engineer H.N. Bhargav, Senior Principal Scientist and Head, CSIR-AMPRI, and all participants. Engineer Bhargav has vast experience in the field of development of electronic devices, information technology, and artificial intelligence in R&D. I request Ms. Shivani, please introduce our speaker. Shivani, please.
Warm welcome to our eminent speaker, Engineer H.N. Bhargav, sir. It's our pleasure to have you, sir. Engineer H.N. Bhargav is currently working as the Senior Principal Scientist and Head of Department Intelligent Materials Advanced Processes at CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. He completed his M.Tech in Electronics from Thapar University, Punjab, B.Tech from Devi Ahilya University, Indore. His research fields are smart materials-based actuator development, control, signal processing, artificial intelligence, and instruments development for different fields like medical, safety and security, analytical instruments, prosthetic and automobile industries. His key achievements are 6 number of US and PCT patents and number of publications in peer-reviewed research journals and conferences. Additionally, 2 technologies successfully transferred to the industry for commercialization. So now I request Dr. Bhargav to begin today's session. Please, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Shivani, for your nice introduction. Basically, as Shivani introduced me, first of all the good afternoon to all the participants and the organizer who have given me the opportunity to provide my information of my research to all the faculties of different engineering colleges. May I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Audible.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I will going to be discuss my research, and before that, I just wanted to excuse you all of that because I am traveling, and during my presentation, it might have some connectivity or internet issue. Please forgive that point, and definitely my email address and information is there, and also available in my website, AMPRI. Sensor and actuator are the face of 2 coins. Everybody are aware that of sensor and actuator. So we can call as a transducer. That is to convert the signal from one physical form to another physical form. The physical form could be the thermal, electrical, mechanical, optical. So similarly, vice versa, sensor which is going to sense any mechanical motion or the physical environment and then convert in the electrical signal. And the another and then give the control mechanism, actuation mechanism. It has been done by the actuator. So therefore, the transducer can be used can be a two face of the coin. We can say sensing and actuation together. Actuator are different types. My topic is there. I will discuss about that how we can use the smart material for the actuation purpose and how the actuator can be designed, developed in particular application purpose. Some of the case study I will going to discuss. Before introduction, I would.
Excuse me, sir. Are you sharing any slides or screen?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it is visible. It is visible.
Not visible, sir.
No, it is visible.
Okay, it is visible to all of you.
It is, sir. It is visible.
No, sir.
Visible, sir.
Visible, sir.
Visible, sir. Okay, I am.
Not visible, sir.
It's uploaded.
Visible, sir. Mute कर दीजिए.
Okay.
Kindly
Now it
upload
is
it again because there's some computers it is visible and some not. I think it is a network issue.
Okay. I will going to start once again. Okay. Let's start sharing. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible. Yes.
Now it is visible. Now
Yes.
it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Because
Visible,
I'm traveling, and I'm just presenting my all the content with my mobile data, so that might have some connectivity issue. Please bear with me and an excuse for that for inconvenience to you. But definitely, my presentation is also lying with my department in future course of action. If possible, I will also going to discuss or share with my email address also there. We can discuss by the mail communication also there. So now continuing my previous talk, continue my talk there. Smart material. Basically, smart material is a process. Why, to whom we call the smart? Smart basically a system or a material who is going to sense the environment, and then based on the sensing information, he itself decide that what to do next. It is called the smart. Smartness comes together in the material who sense the environment and then actuate accordingly. So that's why we are going to use the smart material. A smart material working in the different religion of physics as a multi-physics domain, thus we call the electrical, thermal, mechanical. As electrical is electricity, or electrical energy can be used to heat the material by the joule heating or resistivity. It is transfer the information to thermal form. The thermal energy is going to be used, and if the thermal energy is going to apply any kind of material, or the material who are having the property to change their shape, size, and the some called we call the SMA. SMA is stand for the shape memory alloy. Shape memory alloy is the material who is applying thermal energy is going to change the shape, and while changing the shape, it has a mechanical changes. It can be used to generate a lot of force and the displacement. The force and displacement together can be used for mechanical purpose, mechanical work. And similarly, other materials, piezoelectric material, electrostatic material, electrostatic polymers material, these are made on different domain of physics. And we can say definitely these material are sense environment, either electrical method, either thermal method, or any magnetic environment, or cognitive way, any other kind, light, heat, any other environment it sense, and then actually accordingly change the shape, and based on this changing the shape, it's going to convert the physical domain, physical applications of it. So that's why we can show the smart material, or in our case, there are three types of smart materials: shape memory alloys, SMA we can call, shape memory composites mixed together, and the shape memory polymers. These are all smart material which is having the property to change their shape, size, and information based on the thermal stimuli. These are the shape memory alloy has been invented in 1932 by the Swedish Arne already discovered the shape memory effect, and it is initially investigated in the gold cadmium alloy. The gold cadmium alloy is very costly alloy. That's why the research has come down in 1958, and it was invented that the shape memory effect also be observed in the NITI material, nickel titanium alloy based material. This is the cheap material in the 1961. The novel perspective who are working to study the corrosion effect, and then I think so. Most of the invention or discovery has been done by accidental. So similarly, they are study the corrosion effect of the NITI material, and then they found the shape memory effect has been also observed in the NITI material. The NITI material is also known as the nitinol. Nitinol basically NITI stands for nickel titanium, and NOL stands for the novel ordnance laboratory, which has been initially discovered the shape memory effect in the NITI material. The research is focused on mostly on the NITI material. Is a metallic material. Those are excellent material property, is a high corrosion resistance, high electricity, high resistance, and then mechanical strength, all the things. How the shape memory alloy? Shape memory alloy, we can also call it the artificial muscles. If the shape memory alloy in the form of wire, it has a tremendous property. It has a safe retention property. When apply the temperature stimuli, it has a function of applied stress and temperature together. Shape memory transformator, reason memorize, shape memory effect, pseudoelasticity, and then better biocompatibility and high corrosion resistance. Apart from this, it also have a 5% strength recovery with the generation of 500 MPa restoration force in many cycles there. Due to the reason of this good property, excellent property, high power to weight ratio, large force displacement, self-sensing capability, simple direct application. It means that the very low mechanical device attached with them to directly convert the displacement and force together in the external world, in the external mechanical system. Lower, reduced mechanical complexity, and then easily to control by the joule electrical heating. Apart from this, it also has some drawback that it has, while transferring from one phase to another phase, it has two primary phases.
Metastatic phase and austenitic phase. Austenitic phase is the parental phase, which is a high temperature phase, and metastatic phase is a low temperature phase from where we can apply the strain inside the material, and austenitic phase is recovering the strain generated already introduced inside the material. While transforming from one phase to another phase, so we can call metastatic to austenitic phase. It produces a hysteresis effect. This hysteresis is going to be create a loss or some drawback of the material. This drawback can be incorporated by due to the material different microstructure property, and we can understand the material in the proper way and can be utilized for the material for particular application to overcome this drawback. So that's why we can design a good actuator for very light and weight, which is very less in weight. These are some pros and cons as I shown in my diagram. That the high power to weight, so the DC motor is very heavy motor as compared to said Motoriala is very light in weight. It is having a weight of 10 to the minus 2 kilogram. If we can say 100 grams of weight is going to generate the power of 10 to the 4 watt per kilogram. Similarly, the hydraulic power is more weightage and more power. Another is drawback is the lower diagram. We can say it has a low frequency effect. It response time is very less. This response time can be overcome due to the heat transmission and heat removing effect. These are the property, how the material is going to be changed, the property, and how the strain is going to be stored inside the material, and how the strain is going to recover from the material with the application of the stress generation and then force generation, and that force can be used for external mechanical application to design our actuators. Just like that, we apply the stress in the metastatic phase. The application of the stress or external stress is very low as compared to the generated stress. It deforms the material in the metastatic phase, twin metastatic phase to twin metastatic, detuned metastatic phase. We can define a twin metastatic phase to detuned metastatic phase. This detuned metastatic phase is still in the low temperature phase, and but this detuned metastatic phase has been stored the generated stress, generated strain by the stress, and then retain this side. If you want to recover this strain, whatever we generate the strain inside by the application of external stress, by application of the heat. When we apply the heat of the detuned metastatic phase, it's going to be converted in the parental phase, we can the austenitic phase. While transferring from detuned metastatic phase to parental austenitic phase, it will going to generate a large mechanical force, and while generating the large mechanical force, the strain whatever we have generated at the low temperature is going to be recovered. So that is the process, we can say the microscopic process of the material. When it transferring from detuned metastatic phase to austenitic metastatic phase, it generates a large number of force as well as the strain. The strain is going to produce the displacement, and then force is going to be used for external mechanical work. This is the basic principle of the smart material, and it is going to be used for the particular application. It is something I am going to skip it due to the time limitation. These are the property we can define it, and this property is going to be changed by the application of different properties, and how this characteristic between the stress, strain, and temperature is going to affect it. While application of the temperature, whatever the strain generated is going to recover it is a high temperature phase. This is the basically application we can say, or this is a hysteresis effect we can say. We have designed a spring which is going to be used for different application purpose. As a low temperature phase, it is in the form of coil, just like we saw. It is a twin metastatic phase. When we apply this external stress, we have stressed the spring, and the spring has been changed the length from initially we can say 10 centimeter to 20 centimeter or 30 centimeter the length. As we apply the heat energy or the electrical heating, is going to be contract. As we saw it in between, where is the material has been transformed from metastatic phase to austenitic phase, and this is the transforming process where the spring is again going to be contracted and coming back in the spiral form. And as we have applied complete transformation, the spring back return to the original phase. This is called the high temperature phase. As it's still there, as we cool down, the material still be in the same spring in the same shape. There is no change at all, because the SMA has the property that it has to be recovered back by the application of external stress. And that external stress has been, as you saw in my previous slide, that, and the material is initial come back to its original shape. The cycle has been completed, but while transferring from metastatic to austenitic phase, it follows the different path of hysteresis, and then returning from austenitic to metastatic phase, it follows different path. This was therefore he is generating the hysteresis effect. This is the there are two types of shape memory effect. One way shape memory attack and two way shape memory attack. Right now going to be skip at what is the how is going to be used. Yeah, please. Another is the pseudo-elasticity or super-elasticity material. This is the one of the important property of the smart material, that at the high temperature, we have to apply the external stress. This stress is going to be generate the induced metastatic phase, stress induced metastatic phase. It again deform that, and then as we release the external stress, it's going back to ascending phase. So that property, that phenomena can be used for the pseudo-elasticity.
हेलो डायल
Yeah,
अपना नंबर करो वहाँ सर्च कर हम तो बता 11th क्लास में ये है ये ऑन कर लेता हूँ कोर्स
Okay, a theoretical consideration, we can say there is if you want to develop some sort of actuation purpose, how we going to heat the electrical heating is going to apply with this application, how they are interconnected with this the heat transfer model, constitutive model, phase transfer model, dynamic mechanical models, and electrical. These are the basic models of any actuator mechanism system for where we going to be control the system in the proper way, and these are interconnected to each other and then going to be applied for particular applications. This is also the phase transformation model. The phase transformation model, how the transformation from ascending to metastatic phase and metastatic to ascending phase, while cooling and while heating. Is the topmost diagram has clearly distinguished the series effect. How is going to be that we can use some mathematical equation from where we can model out. It is going to be simple cosine function from where is the cooling period and then heating period. How this is going to be happen in the smart material. These are some mechanical model, how the mechanical model can be used to design and develop a mechanical system. Just like a strain is directly defined by the simple differential equation. In the first one, there is a dynamic mechanical model, and that equation can going to be used. And another is self-sensing model. How the resistance is going to be changed because it is a high resistivity. As the resistance change from high temperature ascending phase to metastatic phase and then return back, and this parameter can be utilized for the particular application for self-sensing capability of the smart material. These are different applications. We have did experimentation characterization of the material for different applications. So how can we characterize it? We have applied the PCS system and then data control and SMA wire Tesla setters LVDT are going to be used for the getting the displacement and all the things. These are the different characteristics, stress and curve, resistance relationship, how the resistance is going to be changed while application of the temperature, while the application of stress, while the application of strength recovery, and all these phenomena we have been studied to design and develop the actuator, because basic minimum property we have to distinguish, we have to extract from the wire or in the form of SM wire to generate in the particular application. These are the actuator we have developed. What is the steps we can consider for the particular application, and then this actuator can be used for particular purpose. How the actuator is going to design, what are the basic principles there. I just excuse for all the participants because I'm running a little bit fast due to my bus is about to be started at 1 p.m. and then I just give you some glimpse of my research work. You can also get connected with my research work with my published work. Already I will share the publication details in my subsequent slide. So this is the design. We have developed this actuator for the 3D printer head alignment. And then with the using of SMA wire is going to be an antagonistic configuration. How we can design the development and design flowchart. These are the things where we can develop it. These are the mechanical component little bit, and we can say it is a sorry. These are the some of the calibration we can. So I hear it. This is the video we're going to say. This is the first prototype we can develop it to develop the control mechanism, and then it has a disclosure, micro disclosure, particular applications. This is the way we going to be actuated the external mechanism system, and then the actuator is going to be worked for the particular application. Is going to be a micro displacement of the extruder from 3D printer point of view. Okay. This is the characterization process, how we can going to characterize the actuators. These are the linear model for the particular applications. and then how the temperature is going to be affected on the SMA bar, how the temperature is going to be measured, and what are the phenomena is going to affect, because it is thermal physical system. We can consider it thermal and mechanical physical system, as we discussed in my second slide. And that this phenomena is going to be provide the better control accuracy control mechanism for develop the actuator. These information you can find in my this published information. This research we have published in this two reputed journal. You can also go through it and get the detailed information about my research work, as well as you can directly come in contact with my ID. I am happy to answer your all the queries. Another is series model. How are we going to propose a series model? This is the AI based series model combination method. We can use it. The AI can be used to how the AI can be compensated as series model, and this series comparison can be used to linearize the model, and then we can use for particular application. These are some testing performance we have to apply it. These are that we have done some experimentation to step changing this feedback control mechanism with the use of self-sensing phenomena, AI-based control mechanism, trajectory tracking of particular signals, and then find how much the MSV and the RSME has been transferred by the process data and then the set data. Okay, some of the science signals have been carried out with these things, and then these are the basically model. You can see it from that point of view, how the system is going to be used for the particular application. These are the things. I'm getting some noise. This data has been also published by research here in this publication. This is a deep neural network based physical response model of self-sensing displacement system has been also been done by the has been published, and you can go through it. And advantage of some additional parts are not required: stroke and force generation, clean and silent operation. Examples can be used environmental and other applications, smooth movements. Same application, free recovery, constant recovery as an actuator, as super velocity. There are lots of vast applications there we can use as an actuator. And these are the few examples of SM actuator there from where we use right now in the public domain, as because it's one of the most important for the stunt can be used for the transferring the information to blood clot and all the things. And then definitely we can do it for application. I must have to acknowledge my director, Dr. A.K. Srivastava, and also my faculty member to IMF division and funding agency, and my collaborator. Thank you for all, and I'm ready to answer your queries, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a nice talk. Dear participants, have you any questions? So please ask. Feel free. किसी को कुछ पूछना है? आप लोग समझ स्मार्ट मटेरियल, एक्चुएटर, इसका उपयोग कहाँ पे, टाइप्स ऑफ मटेरियल्स, भी हमारे जो एक्सपर्ट हैं बहुत ही डिवोटेड है इस फील्ड में, R&D में। आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क के बारे में कुछ आइडिया लेना है, हो सकते हैं कि आपके अंदर कोई क्वेरीज हैं। I think no queries. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful talk on smart materials application of semi-real SMA actuator. Now,
thank you, Mr. Ji.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ji, for your support and to be here with me with such a in hurry-up motion. I'm extremely sorry for delaying that to deliver a very fast lecture. Thank you.
Okay, sir, मैं आपका डेडिकेशन देख रहा हूँ. You are in trouble. एंड उस पे भी आपने जो है ये काम किया बहुत ही सर, ये रिमार्केबल. आई सैल्यूट यू योर डेडिकेशन सर. थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू. नाउ रिक्वेस्ट टू शिवाली टू दिव्या टू कंक्लूड द सेशन.
पहले ईंटा दीजिएगा फिर उसके ऊपर में रखिएगा गिट्टी.
हेलो डियर पार्टिसिपेंट प्लीज. एक
Thank you, sir, for an informative lecture. Now I am going to share insight of this wonderful session. Engineer H.N. Bhargava started the session with introduction of smart materials, types of smart materials, which are shape memory alloys, that is artificial muscles, shape memory composites, SMCs, shape memory polymers, SMPs, pros and cons of SMA actuator. He continues with SMA microstructures and transformation, one-way shape memory effect, various practical implementation like SMA spring characterization, two-way shape memory effect, pseudoelasticity, superelasticity, phase transformation model. He concluded the session with strain current resistance relationship, testing of developed actuator, advantages and application of SMA actuator. Thank you, sir, for such an excellent lecture. Thanks to all the participants for patient hearing. We will meet at 2 p.m. with the next sessions.
Thank you, Divya, for your nice summary.